Warning. It is the opinion of the 4th Street Productions LLC and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language. Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle. I'm coming today by jdub, Justin Richardson, and the sweetheart, Sam Baughman. Our guest today is the one and the only Alexis Fawx. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram, Work Perspectives Podcast. You can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok, the Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe so we can keep this party going. jdub, how we doing, baby?
Feeling foxy.
Feeling foxy,
like
looking
That's
good.
fun.
Like it, love it, want more of it. Sam, thanks for coming. How you feeling?
Pretty great. How you guys?
Any better, they'd have to lock me up. Well, speaking of getting locked up, this is the Working Perspectives podcast. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
So real quick, can I tell you a joke, Alexis?
Yes, you can tell me a joke, of course.
Okay. All right. Just so you're right. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I told this one to Adrena and it brought the house down. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Just be ready.
Okay.
Here we go. What did Ernie say to Bert when Bert asked him if he wanted some ice cream?
I have no idea.
Sure, Bert.
Makes sense. I
It
love
gets
Sherbert, actually.
Ugh, who doesn't? And
Also-
all right, on the show today, we have a superstar entrepreneur. She's producing a limited edition Malbec. She has her own coffee brand, High AF Coffee, which she has donated 100% of her sales to Frontline Responders Fund. She served in the United States Air Force. She's a world traveler. She's been nominated and has won at the AVN Awards, XBiz Awards, Night Moves Awards, XRCO Awards, X Critic Awards, Fleshbot Awards, and Cammy Awards. She is the 2020 and 2022 AVN Award winner for MILF Performer of the Year. She has a degree in sociological psychology. She is a dedicated gardener that grows her own fruits and vegetables and was a tomboy in high school. On the show today, we have the one and only Alexis Fawx.
Woo! Thank you so much, guys. Wow, that's a heck of a mouthful of intro.
It was all true. So
Oh, yeah, and I have beer coming out. So
oh yeah, I was gonna ask that. So you're doing we have a couple questions first, but
yeah,
Alexis,
no worries.
we'll talk
We'll get
about that.
there.
But Alexis, so we as we do at the top of the show, we ask a couple questions. So real quick, what movie do you think is better, The Godfather Part 1 or The Godfather Part 2?
I say one.
Yes.
Wow.
I always feel like the first movie of all those different series, not that like is always like that. That's what catches you to want to watch the next part. You're like, fuck, I got to watch something else again. It's not the second one that gets you hooked. It's the first one.
It draws you in. You're not wrong.
Yeah. And a lot of times those sequels can be like shitty, not The Godfather in particularly. I'm just saying a lot of times when there's a sequel, you're like, I could have stuck with the first one.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There's plenty of sequels that didn't live up to the hype. Absolutely. And then, okay, so what about Cheetos, crunchy or puff?
You know what I find myself? I really like stale puffy Cheetos.
Oh my God.
Like the stale ones too. They get like a little
sometimes
greasy.
when I'm on a road trip and I'm like, oh, these gotta be bad. Let's
The
I
audit,
don't know, but like I'm like, are these a little stale? Okay.
yo, I'm not gonna lie. Say
Like
you're
the
out of
fingers, get all that cheese off. Like
Yeah.
it's just I turn into a like the kid again, you know?
Yeah, no, honestly, I'll say this. When like say you have like Cheetos in like a bowl at a party, I always wait like at the end of the night. I just think they're better because they're a
Yes,
little
because they've
little
sat
crispier.
out. They're a little
Yeah.
stale. I'm telling you, got that
Yeah.
weird foamy crunch.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I
Okay,
always feel awful afterwards. After I went to the gas station and got my little mini bag, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna regret this.
yeah,
Every
I'm just
time.
enjoy it going down. You know?
yeah. But it's also like it's one of those things. After every time I eat it and I see my hands, I'm like, why haven't they invented something that this doesn't happen anymore? You know, what are we even
Yeah,
doing?
you
here?
lick it off, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
it's a whole eating process.
Oh my gosh, the
It's
worst
a
was
part of the experience.
Yeah.
big time. The worst was when you were like younger and you'd be playing video games and like if you're over someone's house, oh my God. And like you had like
Ugh.
it was
I bet those controllers got nasty over time.
that was
Humans are
brutal.
gross.
Disgusting.
We have
The
to
worst.
teach people how to wash their hands.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Awful.
Animals.
Yeah. So okay, next question. Pancakes or waffles?
Well, I do make good pancakes. However, and people fuck up waffles a lot more, I think, than pancakes. Because if it's a waffle to me is really fucking fantastic. If it's
Ugh.
sweet and crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside. But
Ugh.
man, if you can't order a waffle to your house because it's gonna come back to you as a pancake. You're like, I should have just fucking got the pancakes. That's a hard question. I love myself a good solid waffle if made properly. But if I can't get that, I do make a fabulous pancake.
So I will say this. I don't know what they do at restaurants, but you're 100% correct in saying that at a restaurant, the waffle is always better than at home. Couldn't
Well,
agree
no, you
more.
can make it if you make a homemade waffle and you have the waffle turner, then you can make a proper waffle. But that fucking Eggo shit and like whatever,
No.
like, or if you get Postmate it to you, it's gonna taste like shit. I
Wow.
hate Eggos, by the way.
They get
Wow.
cold so fast.
It's so cheap.
Eggos
Wow.
are like
Stop being
heat
cheap with your
resistant.
breakfast. Eat right.
Whoa, God. Whoa.
Get him.
What did Echoes do?
Dog, I got a whole beef with
Boom.
Eggo.
Just kidding.
What? Man, I thought, geez, shout out Eggos, fan of the show, listener of the show. But man, what about, so do you feel the same about Ilio's Pizza?
What pizza?
Ilio's Pizza? Did you
I
ever
have no
Ilio's?
idea what that is.
Good
it was
for
like,
you. You're
yeah.
better
Yeah.
for it.
yeah, you're
Better
you're,
for that.
you're a higher
Go to
class
New York,
human
get
than
yourself
we
a
are.
slice of pizza.
Yeah. Okay, so
Pizza,
you're gonna
I'm picky with because pizza and bagels. I grew up on the northeast side, or northeast coast, right, Pennsylvania, and traveling to New York and all over the place. Like they just know it's something with the water and the dough. It's like the pizza just comes and
Yeah.
out. It's like that crust is just so much better, and the
the best.
bagels are so much better. And if you're buying your bagels at Einstein, stop.
Yeah.
Get a clue.
I was stationed in Idaho and like
Oof.
that was so coming home was all the
Yeah,
bread.
because you're probably
all
you
the
get
bread
stuck.
items.
Yeah, I mean Einstein. It's like Starbucks coffee. You go there when you're like desperate and hungry and like need caffeine. You're like, well, I guess I have to. It's the only thing in town.
Yeah. Especially too
But
like
I'm not
bagels
making my
down
own
the shore.
bagels.
Oh, bagels are when like my mom has a house in LBI and there's like all these bagel shops there. And it's something in the water. They are incredible.
They
They're
are
absolutely
incredible. I didn't, and the reason why I do know something like it has to deal with the water is because when I lived in
Yep.
Miami, Florida, I went to this New York. I always search out the bagels, bagel snob, and they have a place. It was on Miami Beach, the original place. It's on Collins Avenue and 65th Avenue.
Okay.
Or 65th Street, and New York Bagel Bakery kind of thing. And I asked them, I was like, why can't you get bagels and stuff like this anywhere else? And it was like, because we actually ship our water down from like New York.
Oh,
Yep.
And
have
there's
heard
certain
that in
pizza
Freaky.
places in Miami that will ship their water from the Northeast coast as well. And that's why you get the better crust. It has absolutely to do with the ingredients in which you're making it with. And if
Yeah.
it's anywhere from scratch, you got shit water, your crust is going to come out crappy.
that's incredible. It is. I mean, yeah,
It's
you're not
true.
wrong. Yeah, 100% true. So, okay, let's keep it moving then. All right. So you were pancakes. Is that right?
I would say waffle.
Okay.
made properly.
Thank
That's
God.
a real
You're-
treat. You know what I mean? Like you can have pancakes any fucking day, but when you get that good waffle, you remember, you actually tell people about it.
Mm.
I was in Ghent, Belgium. I had the best fucking waffle
Yeah.
ever. I'll never forget it.
In Belgium?
It is
So you
true.
had
In
a
Belgium.
Belgium?
I was in Ghent, Belgium. This was years and years ago, and I'll never forget that waffle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Nice.
I
Okay.
love
True.
it.
Go ahead, Justin. What were you gonna say?
No, when we were children, we used to joke like if we win a bunch of money, like we'll go to Belgium and we'll get waffles. And I like, and honestly, I didn't know if they actually had. I was like, we'll go there now. For all I know, it's a third world country. Like we'll get there and I'll be
Oh,
like,
it is, dude. Go to Ghent, Belgium, and it's so cool. Like they're like square of the town looks like
I'm
gingerbread
not gonna lie,
land.
not for me because like I know, but like where's Belgium?
It's a small little
It's
country over
it's
in
like
Europe.
yeah, it's in between Germany and France.
Okay, yeah.
But
I
it's
mean, I
totally
knew
worth
that.
it. Yeah.
And what
And,
so what were you saying about Ghent, Alexis?
It was just a really cool place. Like the downtown square area where all the markets, it's a really small city. So like all the fresh markets are like every single day. And a lot of the restaurants that are in Ghent is basically whatever they can pick up at the fresh market is going to be on their menu, which makes it fabulous. Like just makes it one of a kind experiences, right?
Yeah.
And their whipped cream on top of their waffles. I have never had cream like that ever. Go there and eat. I know food. I love food. And it's also one of the oldest seaports. So if you want good seafood, they know how to do it really well. Yeah.
Damn, shout
go to
out
Belgium.
Belgium. Fan of the show, listener of the show. Nice. I would say too, when I went to, I'll say this, and I think Alexis, you would agree with me. When I was in Europe, they're like a lot of the shit we put in food here, it's illegal over there. So the food there, like the produce and like the poultry, it's like it is off the chain. It is so the food
Just
there is
Europe.
incredible.
I think you find that like I travel a lot and like I travel a lot to Central and South America. It's the same thing. I never get bloated. I could eat pasta all day in Italy and I don't get bloated. I don't feel like shit. I don't have gluten allergies, like any of those stuff. It's what we're putting in our foods. It's I could talk on length on it. It's just like the I don't know. It's just their processing and how they're making, mass marketed all this, that. And, sometimes I'm getting meat and I'm like, I'm questioning it. That's why I get my meat now from local small farms, family owned farms, because I know it actually like, okay, it's a good cut of meat. I know it tastes well. I know that it's just not mass produced. Like sometimes I can't get certain cuts of meat because they don't have the fucking cows to do it. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather order from someone like that than go buy it at a mass supermarket.
Yeah.
I mean, and then it's really gross because then they just they mass supermarket all this stuff and then throw all of it away because it's illegal to give it to homeless or this, that, and the other. It's
isn't
like,
that
it's
awful?
so weird. It's just a weird situation.
That's what Mickey in South Philly goes to a place that they get one cow a week and they open on Friday with the cow. And when they sell out, they are closed until next Friday when they get another cow, and that's just how they run it.
And they butcher it themselves, and then
they get one cow a week, and that's it. And you come in, you can get whatever's that. He cuts the whole thing up, and once it's all gone, it's gone. And the next Friday, he opens back up again and sells one cow.
And it hasn't been freeze dried. Oh, it's probably so good. Sorry, go ahead, Alexis.
No, I'm sorry, I interrupted. But I've even proposed to friends and stuff. You can buy whole cows and half cows, and you obviously you want a freezer with that and go in with somebody. You buy a cow, they butcher it all up for you, and then you literally have enough meat for a long time.
Yeah,
I mean, it depends on how big your family is and how much meat you eat. But it's going to last you for a long time. They're not small animals. And just think about how more cost efficient and cost effective that's going to be for yourself and for your family members, to be honest.
Yeah. And health wise too. You're going to be like, you'd be surprised at how many less headaches you'd have, how much
because you're not eating antibiotics. You're not eating all this bullshit that are being pumped into these poor animals on a high rate. It's kind of like lately I've been wondering, my mind's been wondering about all the mental health issues that this country seems to have. And I don't know, I always think about all the pharmaceuticals that's probably been dumped in the water. And after us drinking and bathing in it, because our skin is our largest organ, so we do absorb medications through our skins, hence why they have testosterone cream and this cream, right?
Yeah.
Just think about that. We're showering in this, I hate to say it's polluted water, but in a sense, anything that's probably been rinsed out. But I mean, I know they filter it and this, that, but there's always going to be a little remnants of something, right?
Yeah.
So maybe over a period of time, maybe that has affected our how our brains are functioning.
Oh, I 100%
agree.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get high and think about that stuff.
Hey, you're not wrong.
Hey,
But
and you eat a bunch of sad animals.
yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, okay, so I was on an ayahuasca journey, and man, I went through like this slaughterhouse of
Incredible.
like a pig slaughterhouse, and just feeling like it made me just, you know, and I am a meat eater, don't get me wrong, but the torture, basically, like you're eating the, you know, the high cortisone and the anxiousness and the hurt, and I mean, everything feels pain. A
Mhm,
plant can feel pain
mhm.
in some aspect. I
Mhm.
garden, you know, I see it. If you
Yeah.
don't water it, it's probably in pain some way. That's why it dies. But
True.
like, you got to think that you're ingesting all of that in some way or another.
Yeah.
You know,
And,
it's in
like,
their
if the
hormones. It's
animals-
going to get released into
Yeah.
their muscles in one way. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that. I could be talking a lot of shit, but that's where my mind wanders.
No, there's definitely there. I feel like there's, you know, we don't have the proof to the pudding, but I think we all agree in some capacity that that is something that does happen. Right. But Justin, what were you going to say?
I saw a deer today. I was on a long, windy driveway, and a deer was like, it looked mangy and malnourished, and it kept coughing, and it like wouldn't get out of the way of my gigantic truck. And I like rolled down my window, and I was just like, "Hey, you're really you're bumming me out. You got to get out of here. Really, you're bringing me down, man. You
Yeah.
gotta go."
Aw,
It's
Yeah.
sad, you know,
It's
but like
sad.
also like,
It's like a
That
retired
animal-
Rudolph.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Look,
we're taking up their habitats and their space. So where are they going to eat? You
Yeah.
know,
he was eating like a log that was like broken apart on the driveway, and I was like, you can't eat that. I don't know what you're doing, bud, but you're not doing
I would
you're
have
not
loved
doing
to
great.
I would
Not
love
doing the deer stuff.
I want to reevaluate your decisions there, deer.
Yeah, buddy.
You're a little lost. down
That
the
deer needs to
road.
go to rehab.
Here's my
Yeah.
card.
I
Give me a
mean-
call.
I
He
feel
was
like
really-
the deer in PA are different anyway, so
True.
Yeah, he was bumming me out. I was like,
Yeah.
is this someone's
Aw.
deer? Is this it was just in the middle of the drive. I was like, is this someone's, or like, are you just, why do you look like that? Move.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the problem? Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
It's same thing too when you pull alongside like a truck that has the pigs in it, and you're like, ah. I was like,
The slaughter truck.
yeah, I was like, it's not gonna stop me from eating this, but I know where you're going, and you don't.
Yeah.
There's a slaughterhouse not far from where me and Justin grew up, and I remember like we would go on like L rides in the summer, and we would
Mhm.
drive by it, and it was like the smell was horrendous, and we were
Oh,
like,
God.
"Oh God, way to ruin our high." Thanks.
Yeah,
but,
right. Holy shit. Yeah.
No,
Well,
sorry.
I think when it comes to it, I think there's a thing like conscious eating. Like, you know, I don't know. I spent a lot of time with just talking with different people from different countries and
Mhm.
you know, different shamans and different backgrounds and cultures and spirituality and just of all sorts. And I think like eating with a good conscience, try to eat things that are clean, give thanks for, you know, whatever it is that you're eating. You know, it gave up its life for you to be nourished in one way, you know, and eat consciously like that and not overindulge in bullshit.
Yeah.
I think it's a good way to eat.
I couldn't agree more. So, but let's keep moving. I have another question. What do you like better, a amusement park or a water park?
I'm really not for either. I don't like either of those things because there's just too many fucking random people touching too many random things. And I'm just like, people piss in the water. So why would I want to get in that?
Yes.
And then I just not into roller coasters, man. I'm going to scream and cry the whole time. I'm just not now. I wouldn't go to either.
All right.
I mean,
Well, let's.
you could put me on a mountain. You can put me on skydiving. You could put me, you know, camping, anything in nature, hiking. I would love to, you know, I love hiking, you know, take me to the summit.
Yeah.
I'll put that work in.
Yeah.
But to spend my free time with a crowd of people standing in line just to
Yeah.
be around
To-
kids and that and screen. No,
It's
not
legit
about that
too.
life.
Like, talk about like the worst place for food. Like, you go there, not to mention like all the candy and funnel cake, but then they have like, you know, turkey legs wrapped in bacon. Like, all that is just utter,
Just
just
can't
kill.
any of that. You know, I have friends that absolutely love amusement parks, and I'm just like, no, you can miss me with that. I'm cool. Thank you very much. I'm not. It
We
just doesn't
had
sound like a good time to me.
same. We had a former guest on the show named Amy Weller, and we asked the question of like, what do you think like a great idea for a TV show? And her idea was Carnies After Dark. So as much as amusement parks are nuts, I would love to see what the carnies get up to because
Oh, wow.
They're nuts.
Yeah.
But okay. So then next question is chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Okay, very nice. And then Beatles or Stones?
I probably have listened to more Stones than Beatles, but
Damn
it's
right.
not like my go-to. Yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah, I probably have listened to a lot more Stones and like that better. That's probably more my jam and vibe than like listen to the Beatles.
And then do you play video games, Alexis?
No.
Oh, all right. I was going to ask if you had Xbox or PlayStation, but if you don't do either, then it's fine.
No, I did get Demon Slayer though, because I really got into that anime and I really like it. So I think I might play around and do the Demon Slayer one, but it's not like I'm honestly, I haven't had I don't sit down and have that much time to do that.
That's all right. And then, okay, this is the big question, Alexis. This is going to split the room. It's going to decide who you are.
Love it.
When it comes to eating wings, are you drums or are you flats?
I like the wings.
So the flats?
Yeah. I like to pick them apart.
You know what?
We've agreed on pretty much everything except for waffles.
Except for what? Yeah, you almost hit for the Justin. Me and Justin argue a lot about, well, we don't argue, but our text messages are basically just, hey, do you like this? No. And then, all right. So we ask people on the show, and he's been a big supporter of the flat movement.
I do. I feel like I get to cleaner all the meat off.
Yep.
I don't feel like the drumstick. I don't know. So, and sometimes I don't know.
They're for barbarians.
You're a barbarian.
Yeah. Miniature barbarians.
Yeah. Small, prehistoric.
So very nice. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Alexis. So
Yeah.
let's keep it moving then. So like you said, you grew up in PA, and as we alluded to, you were a tomboy in high school. So, I mean, you are definitely not a tomboy now. But
Well, in my personal life, I would say I'm probably more tomboyish because, like, I don't. As you can see, like I'm at home, you're gonna get me as I am. I'm comfortable this way. Makeup for doing the hair and makeup is like okay, special occasions and when I'm at work. But like the way I live my life is very I'm still like I'll go fishing, camping, do all that stuff probably before you could get me into a mall. Shopping for makeup is not my thing. I don't want anyone to learn makeup.
I was gonna say after talking, she seems more tomboy still. Like
yeah. It's kind of like an anomaly. Is that how you say that word? Anyway, it's kind of funny to me sometimes. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so dressed up, so sexy, and then like at home, I'm like my sweatpants. I'm like, hey dude, what's up? Like, my best friend Joe is always like, I can't believe people jerk off to you. Look at you. I'm like, get a girl that can do both, baby. What's up?
Hey, man.
saying.
Can do it all.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the best.
But no, it doesn't mean like I don't like I do like I still like will get ready and do things when I have those occasions, but I'm really super comfortable in my own skin. I feel sexier being me than like I feel sometimes makeup makes me look older, and I'm not trying to do that. I remember being 18 and trying to do that shit, like I wanted to look older, but not now. So it all depends on also how it's done, but like I'm really comfortable with me, and honestly, I'm working from home a lot, and
honestly,
I get my makeup and hair done enough.
I think tomboy might be a misrepresentation because you just seem like a chill ass chick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like you're cool to hang out in your sweats and watch TV and just chill. I mean,
yeah.
I would say
eat some good food, smoke some weed, get high, talk about music, shit like that.
Yeah, that's the best thing going. Nice. Okay. So then also I did want to when you said your friend Joe, you were speaking of Asian Joe, your co-host on the Highest Fox podcast, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So we are all big fans of you and Asian Joe, and we will
thanks.
of course, that's a great show, and love that you get great guests on there, and the industry talk is cool, but even like your background talk, which we'll get into, like background on you a little bit, is really cool when you get into those stories, and then you guys have your opinions on things, which is really cool. But I did want to say for all those listening, we will have a link in the description of this episode for the Highest Fox podcast. So I highly suggest you check it out, like and subscribe. It's really, really good show. But
Thank
okay,
you.
yeah, of course. So then let's keep moving. So you kind of, from what we did on our research, we found that, you were growing up, like you said, in PA, and then you wanted to get the hell out of Dodge ASAP, right? And you've been working since you were young. We are both alumni of the Dairy Queen prison system. And
my God, I got fired for sucking the nitrous out.
The first place I did nitrous. I fucking love it.
I would take the balloons, fill it up with the nitrous, because I would be making fucking cakes in the back. I'm like, I'm gonna suck some nitrous while I do this shit.
Yeah.
Wapner. You know how it sucks your
Oh my God.
I know we all did it.
I was like
a Grateful Dead show. You fucking did nitrous, okay?
I remember it was my second. I was like 15, and it was my second day working there, and they were like, "All right," because my brother and my sister both worked there before me, so they're like, "All right, you're cool, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm cool, I guess." And they're like, "All right, let's go." And I was like, "Where are we going?" And then we had a big tank in the back, and we used it for the whipped cream. And they're like, "This is where we have fun." And I was like, "All right, let's do this."
Exactly.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
fun.
The people that I work with, they must have sticks up their ass because they were not that happy that I was. And I was like, well, the cake still got done, didn't they? So it's not like the job got ignored. It was just done well and fun.
Yeah. What do you have a favorite, did you have a favorite blizzard you would make if you did one yourself?
Anything with like banana chocolate and peanut butter and nuts and shit was always like a favorite of mine. It still kind of is. I love that combo even when I get my protein shakes and shit. I don't know. I like that.
Yeah.
But because I was never like, I didn't like the super, I'm not into super sweets. Like, I'm not gonna put nerds in that shit. Like, like I don't need it to look like a rainbow. It's too sweet that way. I would prefer, like, I like that nutty, salty with a little hint of the banana. It's like my jam.
Yeah, peanuts and ice cream go together well.
Yeah. I don't, I switched over from the ice cream to like Greek yogurt. I kind of do the same thing with Greek yogurt now. Throw a little
nice.
cow in there.
Man, my wife is European, so the amount of yogurt that we go through in this house is unfucking real. I'll tell you that right now.
That's great. It sounds healthy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's another thing in Europe. Like they put yogurt on everything and they have fruit after every meal. It's pretty good.
And your portions aren't out of control. Fuck, if you ever get a Cheesecake Factory salad and you could be eating that thing for 3 hours and it still doesn't look like you did a dent in it. And you're like, where's all this food coming from? Is it coming in through the table, out through the bowl still? Like, I don't even understand.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Terrifying at times. Nice. So then you're working Derek when you started working when you were real young, but then you left your small town and joined the United States Air Force. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
Very cool. We have another Air Force alum on the show. My cousin young Sammy over here.
Nice.
Yeah. What do you remember what was your job in the Air Force again? I know what you did. I just don't know the name.
I was a 1 Charlie 5. I was AWACS on the ground.
Does that make any sense, Alexis?
No, ATC, but better.
Oh, I don't remember what ATC would be, but I worked on a SAC base. So I was a load master, still am today.
Okay.
If you didn't say it, I was gonna.
It's been my joke for years. It's like a standard.
Oh, that's great.
So everything that came in the base, everything that left the base kind of like went through me. I loaded KC-135s, which are air refuelers. Since it was a SAC base, worked with federal marshals, moving a lot of things in and out. So I had a very, very interesting, important job.
That is pretty
in the Air
cool.
Force. Yeah, I really kind of excelled. It gave me I think I just needed to get out of that small town. It was suffocating me. I needed to experience the life. And truly, honestly, that's why I left my small town. And it's not a dig on people that love small towns. I mean, now I see the charm and I do enjoy them.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm a city person either. I kind of like the in between a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's why I kind of like Vegas, because it doesn't really always seem like a city.
Yeah.
But I just needed to see more of the world. I just had such a drive and a thirst for it that I just felt like if I stay here, I'm going to die early. It'll be a miserable death and I'll be suffocated.
No.
So literally, that's how I felt. So that's why I went into the Air Force to have new experiences and to get me out of my small town. And that's exactly what I did. And it was good for me. And I did really well. I made Airman of the Year, won a lot of awards, certificates, top of my class.
Damn.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I did, which was surprising.
yeah.
For, like, because high school, I didn't give a fuck. I think high school just bored me. I
Yeah.
don't think it feeds any creativity. It also doesn't really teach you any real life skills like balancing a fucking checkbook, what credit cards can do, or any of those things, which
True.
high school should. You should be leaving an education at that point at 17, because some people are leaving their homes at 18 or 17. I was 17 when I left.
Yeah.
So, or 18, whatever. Most kids are leaving their parents under their parents' wings, maybe at that age. I don't know. And knowing how the system works a little bit, how a credit card even makes money off of you, understanding interest rates, what it's like to pay and balance a checkbook or a sheet is something I think that we're doing a huge disservice by not teaching those things, Because the first thing you turn 18, you're getting credit card. I was like, oh, I got this extra credit. I got an extra whatever. And they just shove that shit down your throat, especially when you join the military. I was getting all kinds of stuff in the mail for the first time in my life.
Mhm.
So that was wild,
Yeah.
Um,
You're right. They should have I think they do a better job of that now in high school as far as
I
managing
hope.
finances. I think that's an option, like a finances course. But yeah, it was, you're right. I didn't know shit when I left.
It should be like an option. That should be like a requirement.
Yeah.
You
Even
don't
the other-
graduate unless you can pass this course.
Yeah.
Even the other life skills. Like I moved in my first apartment and my stepdad was like, do you have gas heat? And I was like, huh?
Yeah, exactly. They put somebody that would be a great, that'd be a great assignment for a student to do for a teacher to say, okay, for the semester, you're going to get a job, get a job, even if it was just all on paper and created that way. With everything, social media and in electronics, you should be able to create this whole metaverse type of character that is balancing their work life and managing these bills. As it could be very basic, doesn't have to be complicated, or you can make it as complicated as you want.
Yeah.
But can you make yourself live through that and not die?
Yeah,
You know what I
basic
mean?
safety
Honestly, like the Oregon Trail, but for older
Yeah.
teens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a life skill. Some life
Where's the
skill.
valve to turn your toilet off when it overflows?
Exactly.
Seriously.
Exactly.
My stepdad,
How do
yelled
you
at
know
me.
when to
Yeah.
change the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I think the biggest one is where the electrical box is.
What do all those
My
buttons
switch
do
and switch.
inside
Is the
that
house
gray
gonna
box?
blow? I don't know. Water heaters, all that stuff.
Yeah, you're
It's
not
gonna
wrong.
manage some things.
I own a home, live in a home. There is a light post in my front yard that has a bulb in it, and it turns on at night and it turns off in the morning. And I have lived here for almost 3 years, and I don't know how it works, and I don't know what turns it on and what turns it off. It just works, and there's a bulb in there. And my
I'm not
girlfriend was like,
questioning this. This is
"Mm-mm.
exactly what's happening.
I don't know how it's controlled. I don't know. I assume
It's magic. It's the only
one day the bulb
explanation.
will go out, I guess, and I'll have to change it. But other than that, I'm like, she's like, who turns that on? I'm like, I don't, because there's not a panel on it. And I'm like, I don't, there has to be,
You should have just lied and been like, I do, babe.
I control it. I make the lamp go on.
Yeah.
I do that. Lights.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
like, oh. So
Yeah. Oh, look at you. Wow. You turned something
the
else
penny
on
dropper
now.
move, bro.
I mean,
You can thank me later for that.
Alexis, you would be absolutely amazed if you saw Justin's girlfriend, because she is way too good for him. And we talk about it a lot.
Aw.
She's been on the show, but it's unbelievable how much he outkicked his coverage. I mean, shout out to him, but
Hey,
He makes me
There you
lunch every day.
there you
he
go.
makes you lunch every,
She writes me notes in my lunch sometimes.
Wow, that's
You-
good.
you
God, I want to
know-
get a wife to do that for me.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
man.
dope, yeah.
I mean, I always think of Clerks when something like that, the saying Silent Bob says when he says there's a million fine looking women in the world, but not all of them bring you lasagna at work. Right.
right.
Lasagna
You know?
sounds good right now.
Yeah. I mean,
I might
lasagna
go
always
for
sounds
pasta
good.
today.
Man, now you're getting me hungry too. Well, okay. So then, all right. So you're in the Air Force, you're kicking ass, you're taking names, everything goes good there. Did you just do like a 4-year bid, or how did it go?
I did a little bit less than a 4-year bid just because my father passed away and I wanted to take care of my mom and stuff like
Okay.
that. But it was just like that was my choice, you know, it wasn't anything. And I was also like, okay, I got what I needed out of the Air Force because by that time I also started college.
Mhm.
And I kind of just really wanted to pursue my college, the college portion and
Yeah.
just help take care of my mom and my brother. And, you know, sometimes you got to make those choices. And it was the right choice for me.
Mhm.
And I ended up moving closer to home and I ended up getting out of the Air Force and transferring colleges. I went from University of North Dakota to eventually Towson State University with
Mhm.
and so I was living in Baltimore. It was a lot closer to home and just helped make things easy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
graduated college from there and flipped a coin between Phoenix, Arizona and Miami. Miami won, and my next adventure landed me in Miami.
Yeah. Okay. So then let's talk about this. So, like we said, you have a degree in sociological psychology. Is that right? Did I say it right? Physiological?
Yeah, physiological psychology.
Physiological. God damn it.
Yeah, I started out as a dietetics major, which is basically the reason, you know, the whole thing behind. Well, I'm going to very simplify it, but you know, why do we eat? Why do we eat the things that we eat, and why are we hungry? Because I mean, we really live in a society where we're not starving.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, you know, people that work in an office, a lot of times, you know, you might have a small little thing going to work along with your coffee. Then you get there, you go to the kitchen to deliver your lunch. You're talking, you know, then you get your coffee at work. There's a little munch. We're social eaters, right?
Sure.
So physiological psychology it's like, it kind of ties the whole concept of dietetics together a little bit. Like the reason why we eat the things we eat is obviously going to be physiology, you know?
Mhm.
Cravings, this, that, and the other, what we've gotten our bodies used to,
Mhm.
and addicted to in a sense.
Mhm.
Food can be just as addicting. And, you know, the psychology, people that get depressed, sometimes people overeat, undereat, anorexia, this, and the other, you know, that's more psychological. So marrying those two things together, because I still was looking at nutrition and dietetics as a possibility. I also just really love science, and I really love how the human body kind of self-regulates and you know, if we really listen and stay tuned with that, like it's just fucking amazing. We're really we're like little aliens inside this skeleton of this meat bag, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. No,
it's just really fucking awesome to me. So
I couldn't agree more. We are, I mean, I know I am, I wouldn't say Justin is, but we are incredible creatures. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fascinating, like the different things we can do. And like this is amazing. I found this out when my wife was pregnant with my daughter, right? I was doing some research. So say if you're breastfeeding, right? This is absolutely fucking incredible. So if you're breastfeeding your infant, right? And your infant gets sick and like, you know, she gets like a cold or something, and you start breastfeeding the infant, some of the saliva from the infant goes into the nipple while breastfeeding, right? Then the body itself will create the antidote in the breast milk to give to the infant. So that's your body making the medicine. That to me, I was like, when I heard that, I was like, we are fucking off the chain. This is unbelievable.
Isn't that amazing?
That
I
is
mean, that's
incredible.
why women should be really encouraged when they can. I mean, some women can't, but when you can at all costs, always breastfeed. It's going to it's so much better for the mom and the child.
It is tough
in every respect. And I think also there's such a great bonding between the mother and child at that point.
Yeah.
I breastfed both of my boys through the military, and I ended up having to like stop for a deployment. So with my second, I breastfed as long as I possibly could, and it was great for me and it was great for him. And I used it on everything. You had a rash, all right, come here.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's what I hear. I've never had you know, obviously I don't have any children, but like I've had friends that have had babies, and yeah, they would tell me like this is miraculous healing properties of their breast milk. I'm just like, holy crap, we are like, I mean, there's so much about our human body that we do if we just really like it's like I said, it's self-regulating in a lot of ways. Do things get a little fucked up? Yeah. I think like in the society in which we live, with all the lights, all the noises, we are so inundated with so much bullshit. We're really incredible incredible creatures that can, you know, navigate through all of it. It really is.
Yeah. I could not agree more. Not even just the like that is our body naturally reacting after years and years of like developing and evolving over the centuries. But that doesn't even get into like our brain power and the different things we can calculate and come up with and create, which is it's endless. It's endless to think that. But okay. So then you're at school, you get a degree, and then from there you go and work in a law office, right?
Oh, excuse me. I'm drinking a lot of Peter. Yeah, well, kind of. I was so I moved down to I flipped a coin, like I said, Miami won.
That's pretty
packed my
badass
shit.
though.
Yeah.
That like to be like, all right, heads Miami, tails
I didn't give a
Phoenix.
shit. Like I wanted to live in both areas at one point. So
did you ever end up living in Phoenix?
no, but I have been there. You know,
Okay.
I think Vegas is probably the closest I've come to that
I mean,
reality. But
when you pick between the two, I mean, Miami's fucking Miami, right? Like Phoenix is cool, but fucking Miami's Miami. Like,
yeah, I just figured like the ocean, like I felt like there were two total different areas. You know, one you're gonna get like, you know, the Grand Canyon, and you get like those kind of structures, you're landlocked.
Yeah.
And then with Miami, I was like, oh, that's the ocean. So either one's gonna be a really cool experience. So it was, which I felt when I came out here, because I was in the ocean environment for so long, coming out here and driving and seeing these gigantic fucking mountains. I was like, it's like I forgot, because, you know, growing up in Pennsylvania, they're not that tall, but you still have mountains. You notice them. But here, like after not being in a very flat land, it was just like, holy shit, this is where I'm moving. This is so cool.
Yeah.
And now like I've just, you know, I really enjoy the outdoors as far as hiking and going, you know, making camping. I have a fucking great Jeep. I drive to the top of the mountain and throw out my tent. I have a tent on top so I can sleep on top of my Jeep.
Cool.
And it's just, you know, waking up to the sunrise like that is so gorgeous. Or going, you know, like campfire, putting your feet up. I make spectacular camping meals. Oh yeah, I put time into that shit. I'm like, if I'm, you know, I like.
You ever think of doing a cooking show?
I'm actually gonna start doing one for my safer work, kind of like OFTV. I have a thing going on that I'm going to be kind of doing some cooking stuff, and you know, I'll invite other people on, and maybe industry folks or whomever. Or maybe like, you know, I have like beer or coffee. Maybe we'll make a coffee thing, and or we'll like, we'll marinate maybe the turkey and beer or some shit. I don't know. We'll figure out some stuff
bagels.
and have and make, you know, just have something fun with that. But
nice.
I do talk about food a lot.
What I mean, food, I'll tell you, there's regular porn and there's food porn, and both are very, very popular. But
I'm into both. I'm into both for sure. But
aren't we all? But so can you give us a hint as to one of those camping meals? A little touch, or
let's see. Last time I was camping, like, well, when I do spaghetti sauce, I'll do it from scratch. You know, I'll do it all on the fire.
Damn.
I make chili from scratch. Let it sit there, simmer, cook for a while. Do all the, you know, do the meat sauce, everything out there. My breakfast, you know, potatoes, peppers, onions, breakfast burritos a lot. I love breakfast burritos.
Love it.
I bring my own coffee, so I have my own French press out there. So I'm drinking high quality coffee, and
literally,
and I enjoy it. Like I do eat well, you know, nice bottle of wine. I make pasta out there sometimes.
Yeah. And you're out in the smell of the campfire, you're out in the fresh air and the sun, and it's in the end
about cooking outdoors. It really creates it in a whole nother level, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Makes you connect with nature. It's fantastic.
And then like, you know, putting a steak on like an open fire, a little salt. All you need is a little salt, pepper, and a little butter. That's it.
Golly, man. I mean, yeah, you know. Justin, you had a question?
I'll go to lunch or dinner after that.
I was like, God, I'm starving.
I'm so hungry right now.
What do you cook on out there? Do you have like a little grill, or what do you build a campfire and a cast iron?
On the campsite. Some camps allow fires, so you can like do old school fires on, which I love. And I also have a BioLite, which takes your like biomass and sets it on fire, and it creates electricity, which is really cool. So then all you need is really like some brush and stuff, get that fired up, and that fire charges the battery, so I can have a light, so I can charge my phone, and I can cook my food on it. So BioLite They should sponsor me after this.
It's called a BioLite.
BioLite, yeah, check it out. It also comes with like your French press, and so it's a super easy thing to cook on. If you have like, if you can't do a whole campfire, and it's a little containable. Now if they don't allow any fires whatsoever, then I have a electric or a propane. Sorry, not electric, but a propane. And I kind of bring the propane and I kind of bring them both. And the reason being is because I will cook big meals and I'll get things started. So I've got like stuff on the, like if I'm making pasta, I'm going to probably put that on the propane.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier to boil water, get that. But if I'm cooking meats and like the chili, my sauces, I like that campfire feel.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, that's badass. Nice. Okay. So real quick, it is now time for everyone's favorite segment. It is jdub's questions, asking some questions. jdub's questions, a new favorite segment. jdub's question segment. So Alexis, Justin here is going to have some questions for you.
Nice.
Justin, take it away.
Have you ever broken any bones?
Ooh.
Yes. Very interesting. Yeah. I was an asshole and I left a strip club.
Yeah.
Obviously I had some drinks at the strip club and I probably shouldn't have drove home. And I'm being very straight and honest. And I, when the light turns from green to yellow and it's going to go red, I try to make that.
Of course.
And of course, like an asshole. Complete asshole move. And I end up T-bowing a tow truck and I had a pair of heels on. I end up breaking my ankle by hitting the brake so hard. Still didn't, when like that's the only bone that I broke. I was very extremely lucky. And when the cops showed up, they were very, very sweet to me. And I guess I was really shaken up and I wasn't like uncontrollable. Like I was coherent. Don't get me wrong. Like I wasn't uncoherent. But like, lesson learned. Like one's enough. Like let's just Uber. Like with Uber and shit, it makes it way too easy to get a fucking ride.
True.
So yeah.
And in no way you never support you. I just want everyone listening. Alexis will never support drinking and driving. Right.
No, and that's why I'm saying I was an asshole and I made the wrong decision.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not at all supportive of any of that.
Right. Yeah. We just had, they make.
Yeah. I totally get it. Like, but it's an honest story. Like that's how I broke my ankle. So. Yeah.
God. I mean, the tow truck
lessons were learned that it was fucked up. It was stupid.
Was the tow truck guy able to tow your car?
He towed my car away.
Oh, how great is that?
It was a brand new G35, totaled it completely.
Oh my God.
Probably had the car for 6 months. Like I'm not joking. It was a complete asshole.
It ruins your life.
Young and dumb. Absolutely young and dumb. And I have there's no excuse for it.
Those decisions legit ruin your life.
I could have died. Yeah, I could have hurt somebody. I could have I went through a really bad depression after that because I realized all the wrongs with it. I was even hard for me to leave my house for a long period of time. Yeah, it was bad. Like, so don't make dumb mistakes.
Yeah, no. I think everyone's in agreement that it's never worth it. Absolutely not.
What's the last thing you stole?
Probably a towel in a hotel. The fucking little white towels at my gym. I always walk out with it. I'm like, they have me on record. Like they're probably like, oh, the towel thief is it? No wonder they know who I am.
Yeah.
You go through a towel
every time, but it's just why I'm like, why did I just do this?
God, it must be pretty nice that they have the towels at your gym. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
you just bring them all back one day and you'd be like, sorry.
I know. I should. I think I've turned them into cleaning rags at this point. Yeah.
Hey, you always need those. Very nice. All right. At least you answered that. I'll tell you this, Alexis. Justin's asked that question a bunch, and there's a lot of people that fucking lie that say they don't steal.
No, I never.
Yeah.
You've walked out with a towel. Like, it's not intentional by any fucking means. Right. It's like, I'm not trying, like, I don't need to steal the towel.
I mean, you're not intentional.
And I feel bad for
I steal intentionally all the time.
It's like after boxing and shit, I'm like, getting all my
stuff. Oh, shout out.
Yeah, I love boxing. And I'll just like throw the towel in my bag. And then I'm like, fuck, I got another towel. Like, I might leave it in there for the next time or something, and then I just try to throw it back. But
nice. Yeah. How I know that you did boxing. You've had Floyd
Floyd Castro Diaz. Yeah. So I my podcast and my coffee sponsor him. And his next fight is actually January. He just released it January 14th in New York.
Nice.
So if you get a chance, definitely go check him out. He's just an awesome young man. He's 19 and he's just killing it.
Nice.
And he has a great story. His dad's his coach. I've had him on my podcast quite a few times. And yeah, it's awesome. I'm so like, it's just really awesome. It's so fun to see someone like him or like a young man, you know, have these goals at 19 and be, you know, just so driven to accomplish them. It's just really inspiring and it's really motivating.
Yeah,
that makes any sense whatsoever. But,
no, that's great that you see that. I've been teaching boxing at the Henzo Crazy PA Academy here for 14 years. So no, it's great when you see like a young kid that comes in that, you know, because there's a lot of people that come in that say the shit like, oh, I want to fight and do all this, but to actually see someone commit and go through it, it's awesome. And I really do, you know, I'm so proud.
Yeah, check his story out. He started boxing like around 5 or 6 years old, and with Mayweather.
Nice.
So he has that background when he has a lot of like, you know, with Roger Mayweather and everything. Yeah. So yeah, check him out. He has a great, like I said, a great story. I love his family. I just like all of it.
Awesome.
It's like really cool.
Yeah. Did you ever do jujitsu or no?
No, when I was younger, I did like Taekwondo, and I've just been doing more like Muay Thai and boxing now.
Cool. Very cool. Nice.
Yeah. I like it all.
Oh, it's the best.
Would you cut off a finger for $30 million?
No.
She don't need fucking money. She don't have to do shit for that. Are you kidding?
No, I mean, that's a lot of money, but it's not worth a finger. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Not all that useful.
I like having my digits.
Yeah. Speaking of stealing, Alexis, what would you think if you did this, right? Imagine, and I know you don't do this, but say you're in a rush and you had to get an order from Starbucks, right? And you did the mobile order gimmick where you ordered it on your phone and then they put it on the counter and you would walk in and get it, right? But when you go in to get your order, you see that it's not there because someone came in before you and stole your order pretending they were you. How would you feel about that?
I would just report it.
Right. Swing and a miss on this, I guess.
Hey, this
I won't be judged.
Didn't get it.
Justin is the biggest culprit of that.
A long time ago, I used
to steal
drinks from Starbucks.
Long time ago. You did this 2 months ago.
I don't do it anymore. You know, sometimes the line's really long.
Man.
Just the line.
Sometimes the line is long.
It was the line. It wasn't the dollar amount.
Just so long. This way, if you really wanted that cup of coffee, fine. I mean, I just get a regular good old cup of coffee. Go for it. Go crazy on it.
Ooh,
that's another one.
That's a great question. How do you take your coffee? Just black?
Well, in the morning before the gym, actually, I put 1 raw egg and I use coconut oil and I blend it. Tastes like a cappuccino and it's like a pre-workout and it's good it's like biohacking your system. It helps coat your myelin sheath, so your neurotransmitters, helps fight against, you know, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and stuff like that because it's oiling up all that good shit. And it gives you a little bit of energy and it's much better as a pre-workout.
That sounds good.
Let's unpack
delicious.
We're
black coffee, a raw egg, and what else?
Just coconut oil, raw egg.
How much of the coconut oil?
I put it in my little ninja thingy and it whips it up. And because it's with an egg, you're gonna get a little foam at the top.
Yeah.
I like to take the little foam off because I'm not a cappuccino drinker. I just want the coffee part. And because the egg and the coconut is gonna have your proteins and your fats and your sugars and all that naturally in there, it can replace your pre-workout drinks that has things in there that you probably can't even fucking pronounce or know what they do.
Right.
So, and it's like biohacking your system. So you're also feeding your brain, you're feeding your body. And I do that every morning before I go to work out.
And is it coffee? Doesn't matter. Cold or hot? Doesn't matter.
Cools down a little. It's like I don't drink super hot coffee anyway. I think I want to taste it. I'm not trying to burn my tongue.
And it's the high AF coffee, right?
High AF coffee. Yeah. So it's high altitude for coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for all those listening, we'll have a link in the description of this episode. Check this shit out because I mean, it is octane. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it will wake you up. It is not infused. A lot of people get it kind of confused. We're going to be going through a rebranding because I think the word high confuses people. And
they think it's like CBD.
Yeah, they think it like has THC.
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, I couldn't ship that across states if it had any THC in it. Like, I'm not trying to do that to people. Like,
their
Nah,
coffee.
I'm
with-
excited.
I
to try
don't,
it.
but if I suggest if you want that in there and then you just take a dropper and you could do it yourself. But no,
True.
it's high altitude for coffee. So I think what we're going to do is still keep the HAF and
Mhm.
we have half coffee. So we're working on the artwork of that. So we'll be
Ooh.
rebranding it a little bit
Yeah.
and keep that, more linear with the podcast. So like the as Fox show and that, so we can kind of
Yeah.
somehow keep it linear.
No, that's badass.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, my coffee has really led to some really cool things. Like I've been able to collab here with a local brewer in Vegas called Astronomy Ale Works, and we came out with Cheers to Breakfast, which is you can actually buy in cans now, all over Vegas.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was really cool. And we did a couple other beer releases last year. We're going to do another beer release here in Vegas on December 16th.
Mhm.
And it's going to be actually my beer because we're coming out with an Alexis Fawx.
Ooh. That's
Our
badass.
signature will be our blonde ale, which will be more January 23. And we're using more, like I said, we're playing along with my color of my hair. So it's like the blonde, the brown, and the red. So we're having fun with
Mhm.
that.
Nice.
And but December 16th, we're going to be do our kind of our holiday beer, which will be called a MILF stout.
I was just thinking that would be great.
Because stouts are always good in the holidays. Like you
Oh,
only
they're
like
the king.
need one or
King of the
two.
holidays.
They're a
Yep.
little strong. It's good. It's like fuck. I used to drink Guinness in college all the time. I loved Guinness. It's like
Yeah.
it's just like thick
Yeah.
and warm. I guess I don't know how to say.
It's
But,
crazy. Like you have such like a refined palate for like, cause you're in such good shape. You know what I mean? Like, like you eat good, like a lot of people would think like, cause like your body is part of your profession. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's not like you're just eating salad and a half a pea every day. Like you're eating.
No, I fully eat, and I eat pizza, and I don't really overindulge in anything, but I also have a very high metabolism, and I work out. Like I basically work out so I can eat whatever the fuck I want. Like,
Nice.
hello.
Yeah. Nice.
But
Awesome.
I like to eat good food, and I and everything in moderation. Like everything is in moderation. Like I'm not, I don't overindulge in my coffee. I only have that 1 cup a day, and that's usually all I need. Once in a while, I'll have 2 if I'm going to have a longer evening out,
Mhm.
because my ass likes to be in bed by 9.
Mhm.
But so if you need me out later, I'm definitely having a later coffee. I don't overindulge in my beers. I made a wine. I don't like that's going to be coming. That's an exclusive thing that's going to be coming out. These are just pleasure products that a lot of people feel comfortable with and that are
Yeah.
also legal.
Yeah.
I would only promote, responsible usage or any of those
course.
things. But
I like a
fact of
good
it is,
Malbec.
there's a majority of people like coffee. Majority of
Oh.
people could go to the store and buy a can of beer.
Mhm.
I mean, like, oh, well, that's my name on it. So I'm putting my name on things in like normal households that maybe I wouldn't always be in. And
Ooh, I didn't even think of that because you are
Yeah.
reaching a new demographic.
yeah, so it's about putting my brand and putting it out there in people's hands.
Yeah.
Who is Alexis Fawx? Oh, this beer is good. This is cool.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have the fans that are just gonna want to collect it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really neat little
You're
things.
gonna have a
that I
lot
like
of
to work
fans that
on.
want to collect
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
And really,
Uh.
they're just pleasure products in a sense of in a different sort.
Yeah.
I think and then of course I have my toys and stuff like that, but that comes with the industry.
Yeah. Nice. And then, okay, Justin, do you have another question?
Last one. Do you, if you could have a famous pallbearer, who would you choose?
At my funeral,
Yeah.
just spread my ashes somewhere. Dude, I'm gonna have a life celebration.
You're
It's gonna be a
I mean,
fucking party, man.
You have a
Like,
random
the
I was
only
gonna
celebrity.
tears-
say there's gonna be
the
a
only
lot of
tears
people
that
there.
you should be coming out of anybody's faces from so much laughter. Don't fucking shit sad, man. I lived a good life. I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
So I expect to, come to this thing and be like, wow, she had a fucking great life. Blah 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 blah. Laugh. Maybe hand out some mushrooms. Smoke some fucking weed. Maybe I'll come alive and woo, like whatever.
Yes.
That'd be fucking wild. But anyway,
That's
surprise.
I got 2 mushrooms and like
Yeah. That'd be great if you
so
just pulled a trick on
cool.
everybody. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Put like a mushroom clause in your will and be like, you can have the money, but you have to eat 3.5
Yes.
grams of mushroom first.
Man, mushrooms are great. I think they're really helpful. I think microdosing can be like that's something that people should be really looking into. It helps really kind of clear out the bullshit a little bit. And
The
and
studies they've
it's
done
just
on
a really
microdosing.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really kind of like, because I have a lot of stuff going on, and I can always tell when I'm like, okay, I'll just do a little, little regimen of some microdose. I'm not looking to trip out. I'm not looking to, like stop my entire day, but it does kind of help me clear my mind, and it really increases the creativity. I kind of helps me work out my problems. If I like have a situation, I'm like, okay, I need to resolve this. It shows me when I've been an asshole, like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have acted that way. I need to be better. Like. It's good stuff.
Nice.
There's something to that.
Yep.
And hopefully, we'll get to a point where people can really look at that as a medical treatment and not just as, not that I haven't had my fun with it. Fuck yeah, I have. But like, being older and stuff like that, I do see like a lot of the medical benefit from it.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's a beneficial use.
Yeah,
Nice.
it really does.
I definitely,
Go ahead, Sam.
sorry, I find with the so I have PTSD from all of my stuff, and
Mhm.
I moved from taking 7 pills 3 times a day
Oof.
to, moving to complete cannabis use.
Mhm.
And now, even with that, I occasionally do like to trip and have
Mhm.
those moments of reflection and like really do the work
Yeah.
that I feel like I need to do. And I feel like it would do so much for so many people.
Agreed.
It's such a
Oh,
good
100%.
tool. It's such a good tool.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
with a therapist involved where you could really get into
And you can
I could go
actually,
on.
that's actually something that is evolving, is having like actual real therapy session, you using the microdosing and cannabis use and stuff like that. And to be denied, like, you should be able to pick your own fucking medical treatment. You know what I mean? If it's guided by doctors, especially, like, come on, like, you should just be able to, like, to me, I'm proud of you. Like, get off the 7 fucking pills. Those 7
Amen.
pills, they go through your liver.
Yeah.
They're changing your brain chemistry.
Yeah.
And I like, for
Yep.
instance, after that stupid car accident that I had, and I said, like, I got really depressed, like, hard to leave. All the doctors wanted to do, because I worked in corporate, you get only insurance, you go to these fucking doctors. All they want to do is write a prescription.
Oh, you throw
And they wrote
painkillers at you.
prescription upon fucking prescription. I was a
Ugh.
walking zombie. I didn't feel good. I was getting colds all the time.
Ugh.
It was miserable. And
Yeah.
one day I just woke up. I was like, I can't live this way anymore. I want to see the sunshine. I want to fucking laugh. I want to feel life. And I just cut it all out.
God
And
bless you.
suddenly everything got better.
Yeah.
And I used cannabis, and I used it, in a way that really, really did help me to wean me off of those things. And I found out I didn't need any of that junk. And it was that junk that probably kept me sick. Like, if it's always in this and your liver's fighting that, and it's, being filtered, and with all the other bullshit it's trying to filter through, of course your immunity is going to be down, right?
Yeah.
So getting off all that and changing my entire life, I'm so grateful I was aware enough and observant enough to see that opportunity and take it. Because I don't think a lot of people see those outs.
No, I would agree. Sam, Sam operates a dispensary, or she manages a dispensary. Sam, would you say, like, you found nowadays, because weed is legal or legalized in certain areas, do you see that I guess using cannabis as a form of medication for those type of mental issues and health issues, do you see that being more beneficial, and has it become more popular?
Oh, 100%. So my dispensary in all of Pennsylvania is medical only, right? So everything here has to be for a medical reason. I deal with I jump on my veterans, like I talked about last time. The minute they walk through the door, I'm like, okay, generally I have an idea of what's going on with you. Talk to me. And then we do sit down and we work out through different cannabinoids and terpenes, like things that can help them eat to improve their quality of life throughout the day, or things to bring down their inflammation. Or like, I just had a vet today. He has PTSD. He can't calm down. And I was like, dude, try this terpene, linalool. And it's lavender, right? That is the only terpene for me that gets me to like fully relax and be able to have a full conversation without getting wrapped up in my head. So with my personal use, I'm constantly looking for things with CBG, with linalool, myrcene, and beta-caryophyllene. And that has changed my life. So I get these repeat patients in and see the effect on their life. They're like, Sam, thank you. Like, that really helped me do bleh.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Exactly.
hey, cool, let's keep doing that. And yeah, 100%.
Honest-
Yeah, get educated on
At
your
least
weed. Just
in
don't
PA.
go in asking like, "Hey, what is the biggest THC?" and then wonder why you're getting fucking paranoid because maybe
Yeah.
it wasn't the right thing for you. Okay,
True.
like just
Yep.
ask the
Yep.
questions.
Yeah.
Your bud tenders should be educated enough to answer them. If they're not, then get out of that dispensary and go to one that does.
Amen.
It's simple that.
Honestly, too, think about this, right?
100%.
Look at the two differences in the interactions. This is exactly what you were saying, Alexis, where it's like you went to the doctor, right? And they were just like, oh, you have this. And they're like, okay, bam, nothing, like nothing else, right? And then you would go to the pharmacist. Pharmacist doesn't say shit and they just give
Nope.
it to you, right? Oh, they
Nope.
say, oh, you got the note from the doctor, you're good. Whereas like this person went to Sam and was like, hey, this is one of, and she's like, I got you. Boom, 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 boom. This, right? Like it's almost like I mean, it just seems like it's more care involved and it's really finding a solution to the problem where in the
Yeah.
medical field, sometimes it just seems, and don't get me wrong, the medical, like medicine is important and we do need that shit, obviously. But
Obviously.
there is some times where it seems like they're out for a quick fix and insurance takes over and it's just all looking for, it's
Well, I think insurance has taken over a lot. Again, I'm not educated in any of that bullshit, but like it's just weird, like you want to, I think it's just the drugs are so pushed so easily, it's just like a quick fix.
Especially on
It takes
kids.
care of the symptoms, but it's never going to get to the root of the problem. So what you got to do is get your shit off of that,
Mhm.
get quiet, take some silent time, get off your
Yeah.
fucking social media, spend some time with yourself and your inner thoughts and
Mhm.
start working out. Start
Yeah.
doing the actual work versus just it's like a cold. Why do you go cold medicine? Because you just want to go on about your day without having the symptoms. It's not going to get to the root. It's not going to kill the actual bacteria or virus or whatever's in you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to work through that
Yep.
yourself. You have to
Yes.
do that by good nutrition, getting your sleep, exercising, motivating, getting that lymph and circulation moving. If you're not doing the work, you're just stagnant.
Yeah. You're
Yep.
couldn't be
Yep.
more right. So let's keep it moving then. So where we were at before we got into the Justin segment, you were working for is it a law firm, right? And you were doing like litigation, consulting, research, patent work, like all of that stuff, right?
Well, it was different jobs. Yeah, I worked for a company called Decision Quest, which was more like jury selection and witness prepping and litigation kind of work. And then that eventually led into doing
What?
patents at the patent office.
What
So
the
I
hell
was
was
like
that
helping-
like?
What part?
The jury selection and like all
Well,
of
it's
that.
just how preparing, the attorneys that are, going to be fighting the case. So a lot of times it's defense that hires people like that, or sometimes it's plaintiffs, but we got hired a lot by the defense and we do like mock juries and stuff like that. So who would be the best person? So when they get to pick the jury,
Mhm.
what profile are you looking for? And so that's
Mhm.
what we would help them with behavioral
Mhm.
statistics. Behavioral statistics is so fucking fascinating.
Mhm.
Like it all deals like if you're going to catch a liar, don't pay attention to the words and don't even pay attention to the actions. Follow the patterns of his behavior or her behavior, and you'll see everything that you need to see.
Oh, that's fascinating. So
So that's where statistics and stuff work.
that's pretty cool. Like, and do you still use those kind of skills that you learned in everyday life? Yeah, that's
Of course.
badass. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
How could you not?
Yeah. Once you know that shit, every person you talk to, like, well,
Like,
you're
how
full of
could you
shit.
not?
And being an observer is a beautiful place to sit.
Mm.
Observe.
People watching can be fun. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're working there, right? And so to me, I mean, I don't know, like you went to like you did the Air Force, like, and you were really like you've been kind of self-sustained, like self-sufficient since you were young, like 15,
Yeah.
14, right?
Yeah.
And you've been
100%.
kind of like supporting yourself and taking care of yourself. And this whole time, like you went to the Air Force by yourself, you kicked ass there, and then GI Bill took care of your school, right?
Oh, that's such a farce. They don't take care
Oh,
of your
really?
schooling. They give you some money that might cover
Right.
your books, but it doesn't take care of your school 100%.
Oh,
Trust me.
wow.
I still had student loans,
Yeah.
which I paid off this year. So
This year? Holy fuck.
yeah, my schools were expensive, and I paid them off.
Hey,
yeah, but hey, at least I paid them off. So
fuck yeah, look at you. Good, that's great.
yeah,
then.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
Full
okay,
circle.
but the reason I brought that up is because you're like you went to school, you've been supporting yourself this whole time, working jobs. You now like what would from the outside seems like a pretty good job, right? Like working, like
I
doing,
love what I do.
yeah. Well, no, like I know now too, but even before you were doing this, right? So you're working for the firm, then there you're like you were just, it seemed like you would say, like, I guess you weren't fulfilled creatively and like in your life, and like you wanted to make your own hours and do your own thing and be your own boss kind of thing. And then so you left there, and then this is where you got into the adult industry, right?
Yeah, it was really, really quiet. I just hauled off. I didn't know what I was going to do. So I hauled off and quit because I knew that my health was more important than that fucking job.
Goddamn
And
right.
I've always been self-sufficient, and then it's always like things will always, it will get hard, but things will
Yeah.
always work out.
Yeah.
So, and then maybe they don't always work out to you how you expected, but like
Right.
it will work out. So,
Yeah.
so accept that.
Yeah.
And so I held off and just quit everything, quit friends, quit people, quit jobs, moved, all that stuff. And really it was just like, okay, I'm going to work on this. And, you know, eventually you have to find another job living in Miami. It's not fucking free. And,
Right,
you know,
right.
savings and all that stuff does dwindle down. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I got to find, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So I was searching through Craigslist. Of all places. And I saw, and I was always a porn watcher, a free spirit, having sex, all that shit is fun. I was never
Nothing
shy
wrong with
about
that.
at all.
Yeah.
And so I saw to be an extra for Dancing Bear. And I was like, fuck, I know what that is. I know what that is. Yeah, I want to go see people fucking have sex and blowjobs. This is great.
Oh, that's great.
So I was like just going down there really with the assumption of just being an extra. I get down, and that's like the main headquarters of Bang Bros back in the day. Get down there, tons of other women, blah, 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 blah. They have us in a room, and they go through this like laundry list of like, oh, you know, you kiss your friend, you make this amount. If you just want to sit there and clap your hand, you make this amount. If you want to kiss your friend, whatever. They were going to blowjob that day, and they needed to find people to do blowjob. And I was like, boom. I was like, whoa, I can make that for that.
Do
Yes,
you,
I know.
are you allowed to say how much it was?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, but it wasn't
I
like
don't remember.
it wasn't
Otherwise
like
I tell you,
20
I don't give a
grand
fuck.
or any. It wasn't like
No,
it was. Yeah,
no,
okay, yeah.
no. It was a few hundred, but I
Yeah.
don't remember. Like it was like enough for me to be like, fuck yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll suck a dick for this. Yeah, who gives a shit?
Like how much? For
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Good.
How many times
I've
have I
always
done
been
it
told
for
I was
free?
good, so I got this in the bag, motherfucker. So
Yeah,
anyway, they're like, cool. And I had big tits and I was thin. I had black hair. I had this whole thing going on. They put makeup on me, did my hair, got me dressed. I was like, I wasn't even nervous, right? At this, not yet anyway. And then they took us to location. We're in the location. I sat next to this wonderful woman. I kind of wish I would have stayed in contact. I would love to know where she is today because she really was.
Well,
She was really a good wing woman. And then like all of a
well,
sudden,
she's
it was
here
on.
right now. No,
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Too. And there was a girl before me. She took a really long time, and I was like, "Fuck!" I don't
really
know.
wrong
I'm
time
gonna-
blowing the guy.
Yeah, I just felt like it was like, "Oh, okay."
Like,
I'm
all right,
gonna
hurry up,
tell her
bitch.
What? Like,
Yeah,
what's
come
going
on.
on? And so for me, I was just like, "Fuck!" I don't want to take that long. I'm gonna suck his dick like every fucking other porn I've seen. I'm gonna use all the tricks I think I know because you know whatever we all think we have tricks. And
Sure.
then like, you know, I'm just gonna fucking go to town. Like, I want to get this shit done. I'm gonna make this dude fucking come fast. Like, it's not gonna be any. He's not gonna have an option. Just
Yeah,
fucking come
like
fast.
this guy's gonna nut. He's gonna like it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Come all over my face. Like, I'm gonna take that shit. I'm taking your nut today, buddy. Don't.
Yeah, yeah.
I went in there like a champ, you know. So
So they saw your
Anyway.
dedication right away.
they
They're
saw
like-
how dedicated I was to blowing him and being sloppy with it and everything else. And I was like, I took her hand. I was like, yeah, push it in.
Yeah.
You know, making all those seal noises.
Right. Yeah, of course. Right.
All that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The noise is everything.
Anyway, I did the job. Like, I knew that I understood the assignment, as they say. And, and I got offered doing the boy girl next, very next day, which was really quite not the thing because Bang Bros is based on reality. So
Mhm.
I was supposed to be the head bridesmaid. And for me to go from bride to now I'm married MILF, that was just, you know, it was
Mhm.
quite interesting. So very next day I had my first boy girl sex scene as MILF Soup and yeah. And Preston Parker actually filmed it.
No
I remember.
shit.
And that was the first time I ever squirted as well.
No
And I
shit.
was like, and actually, I know I'd have to watch the film again because it's been a long time. But I think like I never saw my body do that. I was like,
They're like, oh man, these guys really know what they're doing here. Holy shit.
I was like,
Ugh.
oh, funny. And they were like, no, that was good. I was like, oh, okay. So that's cool. All right. So fuck it. Let's
I
go.
love that.
Yeah. All right.
So,
If it's
yeah.
cool with you, it's cool with me. Yeah, sure.
All right. I guess this is how I do it. Okay. So that was
Nice.
a really neat experience. And yeah, and I did all that I went down there by myself. I didn't really like, hey girl, do you want to go down with me? I did it all by myself. I didn't, I wasn't going with friends to talk me in or out of it. I was like, I'm gonna fucking do this. This sounds fun. Let's see what happens. And if you would have asked me at that time, even after the second, probably after even the first year of doing this job, doing this career.
It's 2010, right? Is when you
Yeah,
started?
2010. If you would have asked me in 2010, like, well, where do you see yourself? I would have never guessed that. I would have seen myself winning awards,
Yeah.
living in Vegas,
Multiple awards.
living in Vegas,
You're-
having multiple businesses,
Yeah.
living out my passions and dreams, living in actually a
Yeah.
very healthy, balanced life, with work, life, and everything else that I'm doing. And
Alexis,
just-
do not sell yourself short. You are an absolute icon in this industry. You are a
Thank you.
massive star. Imagine this, right? There's movie stars out there that, billions of people have watched your work, and you have, I'm not trying to be crass, but you've satisfied billions of viewers. That is
Thank you.
fucking incredible to think about that on a large scale. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And I've been doing this for 12, almost 30. It'll be 13 years in July.
Exactly.
12,
Only
yeah.
like it's
That's crazy.
13 years, but imagine that amount of viewers and that amount of time. There is no other industry on the planet that can claim that. Nothing.
No.
No one jerks off to Daniel Day-Lewis.
Nobody. No one. Right.
Well, I'm sure there's somebody. Don't count that out. Trust me.
Right.
Trust me. I
But
see
still,
fetishes like crazy. I'm like, oh,
Like
want me to do what?
people don't like. I feel like with the rise of influencers and everything now, and the OnlyFans gimmick and all that stuff, they're just taking a page out of your guys' book, because you guys have been doing that since fucking day one.
Mhm.
Like.
Yeah,
And
it's kind of funny, like how it's I love OnlyFans. It really has put a lot of it in our hands and stuff like that. But I think there's a difference between just being a creator and also putting in the work and crossing that into more professional
Correct.
sets.
yeah.
Not that I like my content sets are professional. Like I run it just like I would run it on a
Yeah.
Mind Geek set that I currently work now, because it creates a safe environment. Like I want, I don't care. Like, I don't care if it's content. I want the other person to feel is just as safe as I do, and everybody in the room, like everybody should feel that way.
Yeah.
So holding that professionalism across the board, I like knowing that I've had that experience. So now I can carry that experience over into my own producing and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's another thing too.
Yeah,
You didn't
and that's not also
expanded.
to knock some creators. There's some really great creators out there that are doing some really beautiful work that I will actually be collabing with, but because they're now recognized, they're also doing professional shoots. I've seen other professional performers shoot with them. It's not just like, hey, John Smith down the street has an OnlyFans. You want to do some free content? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I want to see like a level of professionalism when I'm on set, period.
Yeah.
Because
Good.
I feel like that puts everybody in check that, hey, this is not a hookup. This is professional. We got paperwork to do, and we got a job to do here. Let's create some great quality content that our cross-reference fan base, that hopefully us working together will only help us grow together.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's create that, and let's create it good. That's
When
what I'm about.
we had one of your coworkers, Adrena Winters. We had her on the show. Love Adrena. Shout out. Fan of the show, listen to the show.
Yay.
She's great. But she had said that on her shoot, she went, and her first one, and she was like kind of surprised at how professional it was. And in your opinion, I wanted to ask you this. So because porn has the stigma of being porn, and there's like it can be scuzzy and all this kind of bullshit, she kind of thought at times that porn production shoots go over the top to be overly professional, to be like, no, we're not.
Especially now.
Yeah, they're like,
especially now, because we got I would say, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
go.
Yeah, just on that, especially now, like even compared to when I first got in, I was working in Miami. We all had legal. You had to, we get asked if we're on any drugs or alcohol, that we are consenting, that we understand what's going on. Like we had legal. We got paid in cash back in the day. That was pretty cool. But Now that's even gone further where, we have boundary checklists. Everything is done on video so that, the producer and the director, and there's an on-set liaison there that is also watching the scene to make sure that everyone's boundaries are being respected. Now, grant, there might be something in a scene and, you get, and you're like, oh, you might grab a person's hair a little, like, and you're like, oh, fuck, they don't like their hair, grab. Then you immediately, that's what it's there for. Like, sometimes you're in the passionate moment. Sometimes things, may happen, but you can like, it's aware. Usually the other person's already been put on point, it just creates, it just creates a really safe environment where everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And I like that, and
Besides the dancing bear, the first boy girl shoot you did the next day, was that like, how was that as your first like boy girl experience? I know you said you squirted, but as far as like,
that was all
everything,
professional. Yeah, that was professional. Like I was like, okay, but I knew that from the day before because we still went through the legal, you're still in the waiting, you have, hair, makeup, you wait over here. They kept the boys and girls separate.
Yeah.
So there wouldn't be like any of that bullshit going on behind, and stuff like that. Yeah. And things, things have I think things have definitely improved for a lot of performers. Now you have to understand that I can only speak from my own personal experience.
Right.
So my personal experience has been a very empowering, beautiful one. And I'm really happy and grateful for this career 100%.
Yeah.
I can't really sit here and say like I've had any bad experiences, experiences
incredible.
have always gotten better. If that makes you can say that. And I love it. I think this is a beautiful career.
Yeah. Honestly, I have a daughter and someone had asked me like that, because we had talked about you being on the show and they were like, well, what if your daughter did that? Right? Like, what if your daughter wanted to be a porn star? And I told him this. I was like, look, if my daughter found fulfillment in her life and passion and security, and this is what she loved and what she wanted to do, who the fuck am I to say anything? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, but the only time I would be disappointed in her is that if she didn't do that and she would judge someone that did. That is the only time I'd be disappointed because who the fuck is she? No, like, even if you're in it for whatever reason, no one has the right to judge anybody for doing this. Like, you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's exactly. It's like, I still pay taxes. I still like, I still keep my P's and Q's. I show up to work just like I would show up to a fucking office.
Yeah.
I'm working with
It's a
colleagues I've
job.
worked with many times. They're married. Some have girlfriend. I don't give a fuck what their personal life is. I don't, after time of working with some people, like after 12, 13 years or 12 years, you do get to know some people personally, and stuff, but I'm there to put on a performance. I'm there to
you're a performer.
Create a product, a quality product to be sold to the fans that the fans are going to love. And that keeps my job going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to put out I'm not.
Yeah. And obviously
it's
you
not
do a
about
good
that.
job.
Yeah.
So,
it's just like any job. I mean, on the first day, you're not getting to know all your, personal details about your colleagues. But maybe in the 6th year in, you'd be like, yeah, I know John. Yeah, he has a wife, blah, 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 blah. But,
oh yeah, how's this blah 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 doing? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just anything else,
Is there a union? Do you guys have a union or no?
God, I want to say I think there is one or something, but I don't fucking know. I wouldn't be able to speak intelligently on that at all.
Yeah. Do you so when we had Adrena on, like we said, she's based in the UK, and we talked to her about the testing involved before shooting a scene, and she had said it's monthly for them, but is it bi-weekly here in the States?
Well, it's not required bi-weekly, but it is industry standard 14 days. That 15th day actually increases your chances of some things that you can catch much higher. It's surprising, but one day can actually triple and whatever on some of those things. So we do it every 14 days, and it's a big full panel of all the HIV, gonorrhea, all the typical stuff.
Yeah.
And
how many times have you done it? 1 million?
I've done it so many times. Like, I actually have to give this vein a break just because I've done it so many times. Like,
they look like you got it. Like, you're
always 14 days because you got weekends, holidays, and this and that, or you're on vacation. So like, I got to plan ahead. If I know I'm going to be over here, but I got to be tested over here, I might have to test a few days early. Like I've had to test, and then you might be multiple testing in a couple months, in a 1 month, you can test literally 3 times easily.
What if,
Damn.
but like, what if you wanted to take like a break? Like, do you still have to test if you want it? Like, does it just have to be
I've just
between
I've
14
always
days
stay
between a
tested.
shoot? Okay.
I just stay tested. And the reason I always stay tested is because you never know when someone's going to cancel. And I live in a city in which has a lot of production.
Yeah.
So someone cancels, hey man, we need a MILF. All right, hey, I'm tested. I'm ready to go. Let's roll.
And you're an award-winning MILF, a multiple-time award-winning
Stay
MILF.
tested. And plus, you know what? It's nice knowing my results.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, the fact of the matter, it will take most things 5 to 7 days to show up anyway. So if I just had a scene and I go test the next day and then I don't test for another 12 days, in there, something could have incubated.
Yeah.
Follow. So if I decide, oh, I don't have any shoots for the next 30 days, I'm not going to test. Well, what if something does incubate? And with women, you don't always tell right away. It's not like we're having a drippy dick. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, hey,
Honestly.
is that green shit? Is that snot coming out of my penis? Maybe I should get this checked. Hey, doc, do you want to stick that thing up my ass?
Right. Hey, doc.
What is that Q-tip up my penis hole?
Here.
Oh, dude,
Well,
that
that's
happened
a
to me
fetish
one
too.
time.
Like I should
It
just do that. Be like,
How
hey,
do
you want me
they
to check
get-
your dick?
I don't. It's. Isn't it called sounding or something?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
it's
there is sounding.
Wait, what is this?
the
Tell me.
tuning,
Sounding.
the tuning sounding. They put like a little tuning fork down your little piss hole, and then we like tune it, and that vibration goes down the shaft into your.
Oh God,
Yep.
no, no.
Give you shivers up that spine, my love.
Oh, it's giving me shivers.
I learned about that in Philly.
Oh, wow.
I actually enjoy femdom.
So, okay. It's funny you
Crazy.
mentioned that. We had a dominatrix on the show last week. Shout out
Right.
Miss Pandora, fan of the show, listener to the show. Big fan of her. She's she's friends with Caroline Pierce.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you know her. I don't know. I mean, I can't assume I shouldn't assume you guys all know each other, but
No, but I mean, like you hear people's names. I don't would say I know her personally.
So we asked her, like, one of the weirdest things that she got paid to do was a blind guy paid her to record the sounds of her taking a shit, right? And
Wow.
sell it to her. Like, have you can you say, like, what is the weirdest request? Because, like,
I'll be like, hey Joe, next time record.
well, you're kidding,
I'll have to
because
record
you're a
outside the
girl, you
door.
don't do that, right?
I'm
Girls
gonna
don't
make a
do
loud
that,
bowel
right?
movement.
Yeah.
I've never recorded my shit. No,
You're kidding.
I've done a
No
lot of
way.
audios, but that is
Get
not
outta
one of
here.
them. I don't even know where to put the mic.
So she from what she said, and I hope the guy doesn't hear this, but she said she staged it and dropped like a cucumber or something in there, you know. Or like
What he wanted to hear the plop.
He
What if
did.
you don't have a plopper? What if that thing just comes down like it's a pasta machine? It's creating a long ass noodle that gets the water before the plop.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
man.
yeah, what if you're giving birth?
That was
here,
so
you know?
disgusting. Are
Yeah.
your listeners be like, what?
It's just like a shotgun spray, you know?
yeah, what if it's like,
got
I
a
was
poop
like, get a
book. You know
ketchup
what? I can
bottle.
look this up. I have a poop book in the bathroom over there. We can check this out.
Man, we've talked. So I'll say, Alexis.
You're like, where is this going?
No, we've talked about way worse shit literally on this show. But Alexis, I want to ask you, this is another question kind of off topic. Do you have what is the word that you hate the most?
But I don't know. I don't get offended by.
I mean, not offended, like a word you hate, right?
Like the word moist.
I like the word moist. I like the
I
word
like that
cunt.
word.
I think it's fucking.
Oh, I love
moist
cunt. I
cunt.
fucking love cunt. Cunt is the best.
You're such
Nothing
a moist
be-
cunt.
Nothing beats cunt. Cunt's the best.
I want to dip my pretzel in your moist cunt. I don't know.
All right. The
Is
reason I
that
bring
mustard?
this up, yeah.
I don't
Is
know.
that mustard in your moist cunt? Yeah.
Oh, you
But
better get yourself jacked.
yeah. You must
I
have had
don't
some
think
of that
there's a
drippy
word.
dick.
I don't think there's a word that like I don't know. I can't
right.
think of a word that I would I dislike. I mean, I don't like anything that's gonna be offensive to anybody
Right.
else. but,
That goes
like,
without
that's
saying.
an obvious.
Yeah. But Sam, do you have a word you hate? The reason I'm bringing this up is because there's one word I just can't fucking stand it, and it's the word
Oh,
poop.
God.
I fucking hate the word poop. I
You just
fucking hate
poop?
it. I hate the fucking word poop. I fucking hate
It's
it.
childish. It's a childish word.
I fucking
Look
can't.
at
I
you
can't.
pooped.
I can't stand it. I can't fucking. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I tell her to say shit. I was like, I don't give a shit. You say shit. You don't fucking poop in this house. We shit in this house. All right. Grow the fuck up. All right.
Hey, how old are you? 3? Why aren't you acting like you're 4?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
start carrying your weight around here. Start saying
Yeah.
shit.
When I was your age, I had a full-time job. All right.
We had to walk to school.
Or to Dairy Queen already by then.
I was doing
Yeah.
nitrous at 4. All right, bub.
I was dipping dilly bars by the
good.
time.
Yeah. Sam, do you have
Are
a
you
word?
sure that was a
Um,
dilly bar that you dipped?
Is that
I don't
moist
think it's the
mustard?
Did you
Carson?
ever dip something that you shouldn't have dipped in that hard chocolate, like that
Oh,
chocolate that would
fuck it.
harden?
I did the cherry gimmick. I would take a Heath bar and
Oh,
like,
wow.
oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry, Sam, I interrupted you. What were you gonna say?
I would say mine's the phrase "ya heard."
Mm,
Like
You heard?
ya heard.
Oh yeah, there's
I
probably some phrases that I'm not
Oh.
keen on.
I didn't like it when white guys would say holler. I didn't like that. White guys specifically.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like white guys that try to talk like they're hood in Philadelphia, which is annoying. Isn't that right,
it just
Justin?
gets to me when it's like I'm the only person talking to you or in the
You heard?
room, and you asked me if you heard. Like obviously, yes, I heard. Stop. Like
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Could you please repeat yourself? I think
Right.
I couldn't hear over all
I
the
was
chatter in
looking at
this
you
room.
the whole time.
I'm literally
engaging.
looking at you,
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
a conversation. Yeah, I heard. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
All right.
Like
So
I can't.
yeah. Who can? Fuck them. Fuck those moist cunts in their fucking drippy dick asses. All right. Fuck them. Those fucking poop shits. Okay.
Wow.
So all right, let's keep it
Dude, I
moving.
remember
Simmer down
speaking,
over there.
speaking
Yeah.
of drippy dick. So I'm 19
Do you have a drippy
years
dick?
old.
You
No,
tried
not
to-
anymore. I was
Not
like 19 years old. And like
Were
my
you
mother,
fucking
like,
people?
yeah. And
Okay.
so I had only had a pediatrician. Like my mother took me there. And then like when my mother stopped taking me to the doctor, like I stopped going to the doctor. So I got a drippy dick. So I'm at work the one day and like stuff came out that wasn't urine and it wasn't common. I was like, this is new. Cause like haven't had that before. You got a third
Exactly.
option, apparently. Apparently urinary tract infection's the thing. And I didn't know what to do. And my buddy worked there. I was 19. So I was like, hey. And like we'd been working together for like 6 months. I was like, but like I knew him and he was like 24. And I was like, you ever piss, not piss?
Yeah, you ever get a drippy dick?
And he's like, go to Planned Parenthood. And I was like, okay. And then I went to Planned Parenthood and I learned all about urinary tract infections and they put a Q-tip in my urethra. And I learned so much that day.
You just had a Uranus? What?
I had a urinary tract infection.
Oh, that's it. Okay, cool.
Urinary.
You're gonna tell me I had like gonorrhea or something.
No.
I know. Like
no,
I was
but-
expecting a lot
Where's this
more.
going?
Yeah,
I was so scared.
really. He's lying. I mean, obviously
like,
he's
how
had a
many chicks
lot
were you
worse,
fucking?
but yeah.
I
Well,
thought you had a very
um,
active lifestyle there for a
th-
moment. I was
then
like, wow,
I,
you sure you
I-
weren't?
I did it again and then had to go back to Planned Parenthood again. And the same doctor was like, are you going to wear a condom? And I was like, I think I'm just going to fuck someone else. And they were like, or do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because obviously the person you're fucking is fucking someone else. So
Yeah, you can always tell. Dude, just smell their dick.
It's
Yeah.
scary.
you got
Yeah.
some stank dick. That's for sure.
There is a third option that can come out.
That God. Well, now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. So okay, let's keep it moving then. All right. So when we had D Siren on the show, shout out fan of the show, listener to the show, big fan of D Siren. She was on, and I had asked her this, and I asked Adrena also. But I'm not entirely sure it's not real. I think you'll confirm it. But are fluffers real?
No.
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. I thought this whole time there was fluffers.
No, I've never walked on a set when it's like, oh, where's my fluffer? Get to town, make this pussy wet, bitch. Give me
that
some
mouth
head.
rubbing.
Give me some head. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Get your own, like, no, but like, I mean, we will, you want to create a little, you want to get to know your scene partner, maybe just a tad. I mean, not in a creepy fucking way or anything, but like,
Yeah.
like, what are your likes and dislikes? Because I don't want to touch your ear and be like, yo, man, I can't come now because you touched
Yeah.
my bottom of my ear.
Yeah.
I always tell my scene partner, you can talk to me during the scene. If you like something, be like, yeah, baby, I like that. I'll keep doing that.
Yeah.
So I know it feels good and it's probably looking good and, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And, that's just, common knowledge. I mean, not only just on our sets, but communication with your partner and comprehending that is going to go way far in the bedroom as well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What so yeah, D, when I asked D, she's like, you think someone's really gonna suck dick off camera, dumbass? And I was like, yeah, now that you mention it.
Yeah, and it's not like that at all. I mean, if you want to create a little chemistry and stuff like that, it doesn't really happen off It's not
Yeah.
like that, because again, these sets are really controlled. They don't want anybody to feel obligated in
Yeah.
any which way. It's, and really safety is the most important.
Yeah.
You know, at least the sets that I work on are all, you know, is the most important. And yeah, well,
So if
there's
you
not
see,
it's not like, hey, I'm here to fuck the guy. Like that.
Yeah.
No.
So if you see like a behind the scenes hookup thing, that's all staged. That's not. Yeah. Like if
Yeah,
a
it's like
video, if it's
BTS, they're
like,
creating the BTS and bringing
Yeah.
you along. Like we might do that for content and stuff like that to create like the, you know, a little more BTS, because fans really love that. You know,
Yeah.
there might be more of a BTS type of camera, but I would say that's probably more for show and to get a little bit hot and heavy and crazy and excited and, you know, and stuff like that.
So D and Adrena, but I want to see where you're at on this. And I'm sorry I keep bringing them up, but they had said sometimes a guy can't get it up, right? Can't get hard on set, and that sometimes like he'll ask his scene partner to help him, right? And sometimes the girl's like, no, fuck you, go do it yourself, right? Where do you stand on that? Are you a helper, or are you telling them to, you know, go cheese it?
I create good happiness and karma between my scene partner and I, because at the end of the day, we're not going to get paid unless he comes. So, you know, like that's why it's called the money shot. Get it? They need that. That's why, like, you know, they will fake cum shots, you know,
Yeah.
Cetaphil, that whole story.
Yeah.
But I want my scene partner to feel good. Now, if that guy's a fucking dick, probably not. But you know, most of the time they're not. And they're
Yeah.
like, if they need a little help, I get it. You're gonna find that maybe more with the newer guys. You know, they got nerves going on. They've got to control this. I don't have to. I can throw some
Yeah.
fucking lube up there.
Yeah.
I can do whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I don't, you know, to help them out getting their dick hard a little bit and create that chemistry and make them feel good for a moment. It's all part of the, like,
Yeah.
a lot of times, like during sex stills, it kind of helps, you know, like, because now you're learning your partner's body a little bit, especially if it's a new person that you've never worked before. See the mechanics of what does turn them on. Do they like this? Do they like that? Because at the end of the day, you want a good scene to come out. And I feel like, you know, if you're just a jackass to your scene partner, you know,
Yeah.
then that scene partner, you're going to have dick problems the entire fucking scene.
Yeah.
Now you just like, oh, okay, great. You know what I mean? Like it can like create, like, you know, and to each their own. Like I'm not saying
Right.
it's a requirement and people don't like, but again, I'm speaking from my own personal behavior and how I like to conduct things. Again, it's very professional. I know that it's not like, hey, let me suck your dick. I'm not trying to take, you know, I'm not taking any video of that. You know, I'm not doing that for my social media. I'm not doing that for my other stuff. I get paid to be on set. I'm there to, you know, produce a product, and if my scene partner needs a little help, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's never, and honestly, it's not like you're giving a fucking blowjob for 5 minutes. It's usually like, oh, okay, that's it. Let's go.
All right.
It might be like, oh, I like my taint, you know, touched. I like my balls to be touched a little bit. It'll just help me out. Some guys just like, actually, there's some guys, hey, do you mind if I just go down on you a little bit, get myself hard? Fuck yeah, I can do that all day. And just let me know. We'll need about 15-minute break.
Yeah.
Just joking. But like, you know, there are some that that's how they maintain their hard on. These days it can be really hard on guys. Like sometimes in certain scripts, you know, you start out early and you know it's one of those up and downs where like, okay, the guy has a hard on. Now the guy is soft. Now the guy has a hard on. It just, you know, you're a guy, you know, get a hard on, get a soft, get a hard on, get a soft. Tell me how you feel after a while. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So
See, that's
you know,
why
it's-
you're a pro. That's why you're a pro.
you know,
Yeah.
and I like, you know, I take care of myself. So yeah.
Nice. So okay. So in Europe, like we talked about, right? You're world famous, right? Like your content's been viewed all over the globe. So
Mhm.
when, you know, someone else had told us that when they were in the Europe, right, a fan would come up to them and be like, hey, I'm a fan, you know, really like your stuff, blah, blah, blah. But then in the States, you'll be at like the supermarket and some guy will be like, hey, I've been jerking off to you for years. Yeah. You know, like what is it like for you? I mean, do people like scream at you like, oh my God, I jerk off to you all the time. You know, like what
variety
is,
of people. It's a variety of people. And I don't think it's really to one location, this or that. I've had quiet people in the United States. I've had loud people in the United States. I've had loud people in Central and South America, and I've had quiet people in Central and South America.
Yeah.
It's just going to depend on that person's behavior, not exactly, the location of which they are. It
Yeah.
also depends on people at AVN tend to be a little bit more louder. Why? Because they're probably boozing, it brings a little bit more loudness that comes with that. So
yeah.
Again, please do it in moderation, but it just really kind of depends. I say majority of my fans are really respectful
Yeah.
and kind to me and better. They know, like, hey, I saw that clip, and like, come on, just have some common sense. Have a little bit about
Yeah.
that. There are human beings that don't watch porn, maybe, or there's also young people that should be hearing certain things.
Sure.
So if you're in a public place, be fucking cool about it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need, and no, you cannot kiss me. No, you cannot grab my tits. No, you cannot grab my ass. No, do not lift me. I am not a fucking child. I am an adult woman.
Yeah.
Those things I will always say no to. But if you want to take my picture, it's something really special. And then I never get upset. You can always approach me. It's really something special. Like, I've had more fans come out to me nervous and shaking, like, oh my God, are you so-and-so? Usually in the airport when I look like shit. Oh my God, are you also, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, are you shaking? Like, calm down. Look at me. Like, I didn't brush my hair, bro. Like, we're
Oh
cool.
my gosh,
And
stop.
they're like,
You're
you're so down to
top of the
earth.
line.
So it's just really cute.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for all those fans listening, so what she's saying is don't be a fucking creep. Go
Just
up,
be creepy.
say you're a
And
fan,
what's also-
be polite. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Also, what's really creepy is like, if you do see me out, don't social media me like, I can see you from the corner. Like, actually come up and
Oh
say
my
hi.
God.
Like,
What?
That's weird.
yeah, I saw you were at the bar or restaurant and blah, 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 blah. And I saw you. I'm like, okay, well, why didn't you just come out and see me? Because then I don't know if you'd like followed me and saw me get
Oh
in the
my
car.
God.
That happened to me at my gym. Like, I come
Yeah.
out to my car and I have a note on it, be like, hey, I didn't know you came to the same gym as me. And then I'm like,
Which weirdo?
so
right?
What
fucking
did they
creepy.
expect that to do? Like,
Well,
what did
then
they?
all in my head, I'm like, okay, well, don't take the same way home tonight. Like, okay, where can I
Oh
go
my
in between now
God.
and home to maybe lose this? Is there in
Yeah.
their car? Do they
Yeah.
like, and with license plates and everything like that, people
Ugh.
can find out information on you.
Yeah, yeah. That is
Yeah.
like that's the one thing about this industry that has to be scary is that the level of fan can get pretty crazy at times, I assume.
Yeah.
Like you
Well, they're
told
having
that
an intimate
story.
moment.
Yeah.
They're having
Yeah.
an intimate moment, whether you're there or not. They're like watching you, like, oh my God, wow. And then they
Yeah.
associate that, there's a lot of psychological dopamine, like, woohoo, like
Yeah.
feelings and all that stuff going on, that they're having that intimate moment, and they don't separate the human from that for the person on the screen.
Mhm.
Yep.
I don't know if
Yep.
that happens with all like mainstream actors or actresses. I'm sure it does in some respect, but I feel that with adults, with people in an adult industry, it happens a lot. I feel like,
Yeah.
and plus, to be honest, I feel, now with with everybody getting on OnlyFans, you have a lot more mainstream actors getting on. It's not so much just adult people that are on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So now I feel like that playing field will be a little bit more equal, but like, we've always had such a tight connection to our fans
Yeah.
in some respects. I mean,
Mhm.
it's obvious, especially with the internet. I mean, as soon as the internet came on, then it was like, now they can, with Twitter, now they can actually communicate with us in some respect. On
Yeah.
Instagram, they're commenting.
Yeah.
We have a lot of connection and a lot of, tight communication. And so for some, they don't separate that.
Yeah. No, and it can be, I can see, honestly, I can see how it'd be tough and it's scary. And you did tell that one story on the Highest Fox show, which there'll be a link in the description. Check it out. But you did tell the story of when you had to get in that guy's face and be like, yo, get the fuck out of here kind of thing. Cause he was following
At the
you.
grocery store?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I'm glad I take boxing, not saying I'm going to take a grown man, but
But
I'm
still.
not going to be an easy target. So,
Yeah. You're not a fucking pushover either. Yeah.
No. And what's crazy is I had a lot of people like, why didn't you take out your phone and videotape? I was like, because I was going to punch this mother.
Yeah.
These are like, no, I'm going to protect myself. I'm not
Yeah.
interested in putting you on my social media, asshole. I'm interested in and I think I even like, it's like, when I'm going to the hospital, it'll be you, not me. I'm going to tell you this right now.
You're
like,
getting busted in the nose, bub. Yeah.
Like, and I knew like saying help or any of those things, people would not come to, people are not going to pay attention, but creating a loud ruckus, I end up getting the attention of workers and things around me.
Yeah.
So when I look back and I knew I had these 2 employees, then I was like, even more, I was like, all right, we're going to do this. I was like near things I could throw at him.
Yeah.
And eventually he did throw up his hands, went like this and ran out. And to me, that tells me it wasn't a fan coming up. It wasn't like some guy trying to hit on me. It was, there was an underlying, very creepy, evil thing. I mean, I swear the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I was like, this guy is not right.
Yeah.
This is not right. And if you and that's also, you got to become very self-aware, especially in this day and age, become very self-aware and have a defensive mindset. I knew right away the way he was talking and walking into the Whole Foods, it just wasn't normal. It wasn't normal for a fan. I've had enough experience with fan experiences, and I had enough experience of being hit on, and that was not it.
And it was a
time of a lot of masks. And the thing I don't like about the mask, especially when you're outside, is that I could not to this day tell you what exactly his facial will look like. Because at that point, this part is covered up. And you could change. I could look a million ways. I could have a mustache, a beard. I could shave it off. I could dye my hair up here. You would never fucking know. I could wear contacts. You would never fucking know.
And this guy could be following you again. You have no idea. You're absolutely right.
I did talk to the manager, and I did make it a point. I was like, you need to pull your camera. You need to make everybody aware that if this guy comes in, there's something freaky going on, because they follow you out. And it could, like, he could grab me. It would look like we walked in together, and then we walk out. We got in an argument. Oh, we're going to stay out of it. It's a couple. Like, oh, they're having a couple spat, like whatever. Weird. So being, and then that's not a sense of paranoia. It's a sense of,
that's not paranoia. It's something that you legit have to watch out
phones,
for.
Ladies, don't be on your phone, walking along on the sidewalk or on the street. Wherever your focus is, that's where your attention is. And if I can, do you know how many people you can walk up and they would never fucking know it? I mean, I know I'm a culprit of it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't do that. I've gotten into it. I'm trying to do a lot better with that, and I have. But it's, get off your phone. It's not even just a driving thing, just, even walking, like, especially if you live in the city or anything like that, just self-awareness is a huge thing.
I couldn't agree more. You kind of alluded to it too, with being hit on. What is dating like for you in the industry? Is this something you're comfortable to talk about?
Yeah, I can talk about it. I don't date.
I mean, like, you don't date in the industry, but even like
no, I won't. Like, I don't like to date. I've never dated anybody in the industry. I've never dated a scene partner or anything like that. It's just, that was my own personal boundary rule. I don't like to shit and eat the same place. You know what I mean? Like, I want my kitchen and bathroom in different locations.
Smart.
IFA, and I don't know if you call it that, but but also, like, I also didn't want to have any, like, I want to be able to work with anybody and everybody that I want to work with.
Right.
It's cool.
And
but dating, I've dated outside the industry. I've had very long relationships with that. It's been good. I don't do dating apps. That's just like, I'm either going to get kicked off or catfishing, or somebody's going to recognize me. And it's always, that's a slippery slope, right? So dating, I find, and I'm not a going out bar person. Like, I'm not, like, if I go to meet people out, I go to my local places, I meet my friends, and I'm not there and interested in meeting anybody else. I'm not going there to get loose.
Hook up.
Because they're to socialize and leave. Like, that's about it. So I'm not really doing those things. So I'm really putting myself out there, but I don't know. I'm so satisfied. I'm kind of like one of those people that doesn't really need a relationship. I'm more like, I'd rather just have a bunch of different lovers all over the place, but that doesn't even happen either.
What I mean, but like, do you like, say you're talking to a guy and he doesn't know that you're in the industry?
Well, first of all, I'm going to get that out of the way right away.
You tell them, like, hey, just like,
and a lot of times they already know. But like, I'm just going to get that out of the way. Because first of all, I'm not going to sit there and waste your time or my time when it's going to be like, oh, you do what? And then I can always tell by the reaction. Is this a person like, oh, you do what? Because they're going to think, oh, I'm going to get fucked tonight. And I'm like, no, you're not. No. First of all, I don't see your test.
Unless you have good lighting, I doubt it.
Like, I like men and women and stuff like that, so the options are always there. But I work, I'm so focused on my own personal goals that dating isn't, like, I don't know, it's not a really big high priority to me. I'm really satisfied in pretty much in all aspects of
That's incredible. Good for you.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, would polyamory be something that you would be interested
Yeah, those
in?
things. I like those types of relationships and openness. And honestly, that's because of the communication and comprehension
I was
that's
just gonna say.
required in
Yep.
those types of relationships. If you want to read a good book that you can really apply the principles to any relationship, is The Ethical Slut. I really like that book. I highly recommend it for everybody. You don't have to be polyamorous, you don't have to be pan, you don't have to be this or that. But it's very simple, like things that work in any type of relationship: comprehension, communication, honesty. And that's like saying, hey, these are the boundaries I'm okay with. These are what I'm not going to be okay with. And that, that takes maturity and an emotional intelligence that I really don't think a lot of people have. And that's also limits my dating pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
a lot of-
100%.
I'm not looking to take care of anybody. I'm not looking to have someone up my ass. I mean, if I'm going to partner and have have partners in my life, I like for them to be successful. I like them to be going on and having like, oh, you're on a trip. That's fucking great. Like, awesome.
Yeah.
I'll see you
Yeah.
later.
Do you? Yeah.
Do you? We'll meet up. We'll mingle. Oh, you want to meet up in Hawaii? Fuck, I'll meet there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit I like. That's the kind of shit I'm into. I'm not into
Mm.
I don't need to have.
Your life sounds
Um,
fucking awesome.
That's me. That's just my personal view of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I mean, yeah, that's incredible. What yeah, nice, very nice. So okay. No, but I know.
Are you speechless?
Well, yeah.
He's like,
It's not-
he's still confused over sexual partners in different
Well,
locations. He's like,
I
I'm not
know,
going
right?
anywhere, and I'm not fucking anyone
How do
else.
you do these things?
Yeah. Not for me, but Justin wanted to know, what does polyamorous mean?
So, and for me, my personal belief in it is that I don't think one person can be absolutely everything to another person.
Yeah.
So you have multiple partners. Like when I was still married with my husband, I also had a boyfriend. When we lived in Florida, I had my husband, I had a boyfriend, we had a girlfriend, and
And
I
everybody
could go get
knows
rid of my
about each
husband for a
other.
bit. Exactly.
It's
We
not
had, like, a
hidden.
family-
It's no secret.
Good for
It's
you.
like, hey, I'm going to go spend time with so-and-so. And it's about balancing. Because sometimes and I agree with that. Like I can find things in a lot of different people and I don't always find it in all one.
Yeah.
And it's not about variety and all this fucking. It could be like, I really enjoy hiking with this person. I really enjoy camping, where I might not get that with another person, but I find something else I really love about this person. Maybe with this person, I do more theater type of shit or whatever. Like there's different variety. Like people are multifaceted. You don't have to just stick to one thing.
Yeah. You can just
But
be
if that
friends.
works for you, that works for you. I would never tell anybody that, polyamory is the only way. I would never tell anybody monogamy is the only way or non-monogamy. Dude, it's just be honest. Just be honest with yourself and with your partners and have the type of relationship that you want.
Takes
It's
courage
simple.
to be honest, though. Not everyone has that type of courage, and it shows the type of person that you are, that you're willing to have the courage to share your feelings and what you want.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you have to. I spent too much time not, you go through life. Like I'm not about that. Like I've got boundaries, I've got honesty, and if you can't be honest, and that's a big thing with me because my entire life is not my entire life. I do have some private things, that I keep to myself a little bit, but for most of my life after the last 12 years is on the internet. There's parts of me that I haven't even seen, so honesty to me is more important than any type of loyalty. Loyalty tells me that you will be willing to lie in order to stay loyal. I don't want people that are going to lie to me. I want people that are always going to be honest with me because I sometimes need to be steered in the right direction. Maybe I don't always have the right answer. Tell me the truth. Like, hey, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't do that. Rethink it. At the end of the day, I'm always going to do whatever I want to fucking do because but I've learned to take those hints and suggestions from the people that really do care about me a lot more seriously.
Good.
Because they're not telling me because they're trying to hurt me. They're telling me because they're being honest and they're looking out for my best interest. And that to me is how your teammates, your team, your group of people, however you want to vibe with that, that needs to be important. Honesty is number one. Joe and I, it's funny, like my best friend Joe,
shout out.
Yes, we are best friends. Don't even
Shout out Asian Joe.
shout out to Asian Joe over there.
He's
like,
the
we're
man,
not best friends. I'm like,
co-host
"Yes, we are."
on the Highest Fox.
Wait till you
podcast.
see his shoes on the red carpet. They're going to be these huge.
I'm
they're
excited for that.
They're incredible. We're gonna get those fucking things.
Oh.
It's great. He's my business. He's my best friend and business partner. And the reason being is because he has no problem being honest with me. And And I love that. And I have no problem
Mhm.
being honest with him. And we could be like, we'll sound like assholes to each other. But the next thing we're hey, you want to go get something to eat? Yeah. Okay, cool. Like we
Yeah.
figured it out. We hear this is the situation. This is the situation. I'm not saying we fight like cats and dogs, but like we get into it sometimes because I might have an idea. He'll be like, you need to rethink it this way. And we got to rework that out. But
Yeah.
you need people on your team that are going to keep you, that are going to help you with that. I
Yeah.
don't want people blowing smoke up my ass. God,
Yeah.
can you imagine all the bullshit I could get myself into?
Oh my gosh. It'd
And
be
you don't
endless.
grow from that.
Yeah.
You
Huh?
don't grow. You don't
No,
grow
you don't
from
grow
people
from
blowing
that.
smoke.
Yeah, and I think like I've really learned in the last few years how important cultivating solid friendships, or not even just friendships, cultivating solid, honest relationships, whether it's business, friendship, romantic, whatever ship you want to fucking sail, making them honest and honest and have a lot of honest communication and comprehension. It just needs to be in every single one. And it's okay to have boundaries and know what those are and communicate all of that.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. Plus two, you need it. I mean, it's like if they're willing to tell you the hard truths, it's because they have your best interest at heart. And it is difficult to find someone that's willing to do that, but those are legit the most important people, that they tell you shit they don't want to hear, but they do have your best interest at heart.
Oh yeah. And and that's the thing, like I've learned too with self-awareness, is that sometimes when you hear something, if you get that weirdness in your chest and you're like, whoa, that kind of hit me different.
Mhm.
Pay attention to that. That's teaching you something. That's teaching you
Mhm.
something about yourself. And maybe you need to pay attention and be like, why do I feel this way? And how do I navigate through it? And what, you figure it, and that's really getting to the root of your things, right?
Mhm.
It's also
Yep.
learning about
Yep.
yourself in a deeper
Yeah.
way. But
Yeah.
if you get that tinge, take a deeper look. There's something there.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So the next question is, what is the worst thing that you think? What is the worst thing about being in the adult industry?
I don't really think of things like that. Worst, like I don't know. Worst thing. I mean, I guess like other people's attitudes is really the worst thing about it. That's
Yeah.
nothing to do with me. It has everything to do
Yeah.
with them. So I could care less. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you get a piss poor attitude, that's you. That's not me.
Yeah. And that's really
Yep.
someone's misconception about it
Yeah,
entirely.
it's their misconception or their own insecurities or their own bullshit that's inside them. It has nothing to
Yeah.
do with me.
True.
But I don't really have any complaints. Like I really have, like, again, my personal experience has been one of a very positive one.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and I've seen things get better for us talents. So
Yes.
I think the things when people have misconception and they hear these horrible stories, I think like that, you got to look at what production that happened on. Was that a smut production? Is that a legit production?
Yeah.
Or is it one of these bigger companies that are really taking care of the people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
contracted for a reason. And I like that contract because I am taken care of.
Yeah.
But I'm an adult. And if I don't like something on set, I say it.
Right. Yeah.
And
that's-
I've never felt ever since I've been in this industry, I've never felt that I couldn't say no.
Mhm.
And I've been told and known for, oh, well, you're very, I'm like, yeah, well, why shouldn't I be? It's my fucking body. If I don't want to do
Amen.
something, I don't do it.
Goddamn right. You're goddamn right. And
But I've
nor
always
should
had-
you have to.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's also like from what we've heard today and like your story that you've told, you've been very independent and self-sufficient, and that comes with like knowing what you want, knowing like protecting yourself, and knowing like this is how I want to do things and this is how it's going to go, or it's not going to happen. And hey, that's like having a strong will like that is not a bad thing. You're not at all.
Yeah. It's worked out to my benefit for sure.
I would say. So then
Yeah.
on the adverse of that, what would you say is the best thing about being in the adult industry? Besides like the worldwide fame, the critical acclaim, and getting to bang hot dudes all the time.
And hot women, don't forget them.
Oh shit, yeah.
Hot people.
You get a lot of female fans too.
Yeah,
come
I'm
up to
getting
you?
more and
Have
more
you looked
female
at
fans.
her?
Well,
But this is the thing. This is where I think the mainstream products are really helping me out, because I'm gathering more female fans, because when they buy my calendar and they're seeing it's safe for work,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, and then they can I'm not scary. I'm like some like, they're like, oh, okay. She likes coffee. She likes normal human things. She has
likes
a mind.
hiking.
I
She
like
has a brain
Malbec.
on her. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All
That's-
these awesome
yeah.
things.
Yeah. So sorry, I
the best
interrupted
thing
you.
I've ever
Yeah.
had in my life, or I mean, in the industry, the best thing I can think of is the autonomy I have over my time. That is the best gift that you can ever have. When you can
Yeah.
create your everyday the way you want to create it,
Mhm.
and you have that full autonomy, stress goes out the window. Because really, honestly, everything that you make yourself is all up to you. So
Yeah.
you are your master creator of your fucking reality.
Yeah.
You can take control of that, and then you can decide where you go.
Yeah.
You're
Blessing
not
and the
allowing
curse.
that
Though.
up to anybody else.
Yeah.
When you have autonomy over your own time, man, then you can put in there life work balance.
Mm-hmm.
You get to work when you feel your best.
Yeah.
Like I know the times that I'm going to be my most productive. I'll be most productive at midnight. Fucking dead. I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm most, I'm not, not everybody's most productive between 8 and 5.
Yeah.
People have to come, take that in consideration.
Yeah.
So I have full autonomy over it. It doesn't mean that I take a ton of days off. I actually work every single day on something.
Yeah.
I have a lot of shit going on because I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I love creating new products. I love creating new jobs for myself. Joe loves it too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No.
We have a lot of fun. I love it.
Yeah, but but that also takes like we said, strong will and commitment to and the dedication to put in that time, because there's a lot of people that have time and sit around and fucking do nothing. And I'm not saying you don't need to relax and stuff, but you control your time, but you're also putting in a ton of work when you want to work. But it's when you want to do it. Yeah.
I mean, like social media itself is a job.
Sure.
I'm not getting paid that time, but if I don't do it, it's not going to lead to more people.
True.
You know what I mean? So indirectly, it pays you in some weird way.
Yeah. Eyes on the product.
Yeah. I have things I want to accomplish and things I want to do, and I'm having a fucking blast at it. So why not keep going at it?
You're living the life.
And I love it. And I've really been able, because of that, I've been able to create a very healthy, happy life for myself. And I think that like I said earlier, I feel full, like I'm satisfied with my life. I'm satisfied with, and that doesn't mean I don't want more and more thing, or not, it's not materialistic, but doesn't mean I don't, I'm just going to stay satisfied and I'm not going to grow. I'm I'm satisfied with I accept change and I accept that growth. And I know sometimes harder the change, the bigger the growth's going to be. So it's kind of like, I'm here with open arms. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's fucking go. It's go time. Yeah. Let's hit our fucking goals. Let's hit that like a bullseye every single time.
Yeah.
And that's dedication to myself. That's because I love myself. Self-care isn't going to get your toes and your nails down. Self-care is really spending time with yourself and learning about yourself and growing and accepting these challenges in life. Yeah. I don't know.
No, you're absolutely right. So, okay. So next question is, what is a performer that you haven't worked with? And there's probably not many, but a performer you haven't worked with that you would love to work with.
I haven't worked with Kiss of Sins. That would be really fun.
Nice.
I don't think her and I have ever had a scene together.
You're going to, but
Oh yeah. There's quite a few probably that I haven't worked with. There's actually a lot of people in the industry that we float around and stuff like that. But there's always new people and there's always new opportunities. I don't pick favorites. I don't do any of those things. And everybody brings their own unique thing to the table. Especially at this level.
Yeah.
So
nice. Awesome. And then what is your favorite type of scene to shoot?
Sometimes I just like a good old gonzo scene, just because it's hot and sexy and it's usually wet and oily and fun. We're just fucking for the fun of it. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's not like a set structure. Well, we need to get reverse cowgirl in this one for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then we want to flip it around and don't script my fucking sex. I've been doing this for 12 years. I know where your camera is.
Yeah.
Let me do my job, sir, ma'am.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Do you like the production side of it? Because you've produced and stuff. Have you directed also?
Well, I mean, we do when we do our own content.
True.
I'm producing that and directing because I want to
very true.
have it a certain way. I have written, I've done Voyeur Next Door. I did The Voyeur Next Door. I did Unbound, a few other things. I've written those. Those were just ideas that I came up with in my own head. So to see that produced by a big company was really fucking great.
Yeah.
So
Really
cool.
awesome,
Yeah.
actually.
Digital Playground did that, right?
Yeah, Digital Playground did I'm Bound, and Voyeur Next Door was by Browsers. So
Yeah.
one was a 4-part series and one was a 3-part series.
Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
so, yeah, I love doing that kind of stuff. So I love the whole aspect of it. Like, I love writing. I love using anything creative. Like,
Yeah.
and that's another thing I love about the industry. It's giving me a creative outlet,
Yeah.
and it's variety. And I don't always look the same.
Mm-hmm.
And, I can be a doctor, I can be a lawyer, I can be this, I can be that. It's just
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. And you get to have
So-
fun doing it, and you get to bang hot men and women. So shout out,
Right? That's always a plus.
Always. I mean, not everyone gets to go to work and, bang the hot person there. Usually they have to not do that. But
Yeah, exactly.
okay. So then you from what it sounds like, you've just had such a great experience in the adult industry and everything like that. Do you have a worst moment in the industry?
Bad. Like, I don't have any bad worst
No,
stories.
that's great. No, good for you. That's awesome. Glad to
Yeah.
hear. What would you say is your best moment in the adult industry?
I think I've had a lot of great moments. One of the best moments is seeing like something that you create, imagined in your head, wrote down, get created. That's a really phenomenal moment.
Yeah.
Winning AVN and XBiz both in 1 year, phenomenal moment.
Yes.
Being able to actually walk up on stage to accept it was a phenomenal moment. I
Yeah.
thought I was going to puke. It was great. I didn't thank Joe. He hasn't let me. If I win this year, I'll thank you. Guys. You're the only person I thank. I'll be just, Joe deserves this award. Come up and accept it. All those phenomenal moments are really good. I love, I love being on set. I love what I do. I love everything about it.
Yeah. Honestly, I will say this, like, as far as like creating content in any form of any medium, but in creating content, once you have something like you visualize and you put in the work and are able to see it come to life, there is like an addiction in that, where you're like, God, I just want to, like, then you start visualizing other things, and then you realize that you have the power to create what you've envisioned, and that can be very addicting, and it can be very fulfilling too. And I see where you're at, where it's like you find a lot of joy and fulfillment in your work, and that's a lot of people are very, very envious of that. So, okay. So we are coming towards the top of time. Alexis, I will say this, is that there has been like the porn star stigma of like ditzy or drugs or, whatever. And you are anything but that. You're very well spoken, great storyteller, very smart, and like, a lot of courageous adventure but also, you've put an entrepreneurship together where you have a ton of industry and business behind you, and you've done all these things and had the courage to go down all these avenues that a lot of people wouldn't do that. So, salute to you. And honestly, like I don't know if it's corny, but you give porn stars a great name, and like you're a credit to your craft.
Thank you. That's actually really cool. I'm glad I do that.
No, you definitely do. So, I know Justin, Sam, and I are all on the same page with this, but Alexis, we would love to have you back on the show if you'd be willing to come
Of
back on.
course.
Oh
Yeah, I
my
would
God.
love to. Just let Tanya know.
Oh my
Look
God.
it up.
Tanya's great, isn't she? I love Tanya.
Yeah, I love her. She's a sweetheart.
She's awesome.
She's been my PR for a while now.
I've only ever emailed with her, but all the emails have been fun. She seems cool.
She is. She's cool.
I'd love to have her on too, because she's been in the industry for a while also. But
yeah, most definitely. I'm going to have her on mine for sure.
Yeah.
Next time she comes out to Vegas.
I would love to do that. We do these things sometimes where they're called roundtables. We'll have like I had a Henso Gracie roundtable, and we had like this local high school roundtable kind of thing. We had like a handful of people that all have that thing in common on the show, and like, just did a panel about it. And I would love to have like a porn star roundtable where it's just like a group interview. Talk to Tanya. Maybe we can set that up. But
yeah, that'd be fun.
Nice. But so we are coming to the top of time, Alexis. So if there's anything you want to say to the Alexis Fawx fans out there, I will say this. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but in the description, we will have a link to Highest Fawx. We will have a link to the High AF coffee. We'll have a link to Malbec. Yes. And then
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. So, and we'll have a link to anything else, that Alexis wants. So But do you have
Yay.
anything you want to say to the fans before we get out of here?
First, thank you so much. Just continue to support me, buy my products. You know, we're going to be releasing a Alexis Fawx blonde ale that'll be available here in Las Vegas. It's like a
Very
microbrew. We'll have a MILF stout December 16th coming out here just for our Christmas holidays.
Very nice.
To be looking out for those new products. Buy my coffee, highafcoffee.com, foxfans.com if you want to get naughty, just Fox it if you want to keep it safe.
Ooh.
And yeah, so let's see. Oh, and the Highest Fox Show, the podcast, we stream on all the major channels. But yeah, follow me. Let's go.
And you'll be doing an appearance January 4th through the 7th at the AVN Adult Entertainment Expo in Las Vegas. You'll be signing at the Brazzers booth, right?
Yep. And then also for X3 and XBiz Awards as well, also for Brazzers.
And that'll be on January 14th and 15th for the X3 show. And that's in LA, right?
Correct.
Awesome. Yeah. So for all your fans out there, yeah, you had a chance to go check out Alexis. I'll tell you, she's freaking awesome. So
Thank you.
Alexis, man, I can't thank you enough for this. Thank you so much. Justin, anything you want to say to JDub Nation before we get out of here?
Nah, this is awesome. You're fun as shit, yo.
Yeah. You're
Thank you so much. You
Yeah,
are
had a good
too.
old time.
Oh, you're the
Cool.
best. Sam,
Thanks, man.
anything you want to say to the Scrum Diddly Umptious faithful before we get out of here?
First of all, I just want to say I'm inspired by you. Your story is great.
Oh, thank
I
you.
appreciate the time. No, seriously. Wow. And thank you for letting us do this.
Yeah.
Thank
I've been
you.
excited all week. So
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate each and one of you.
Oh, you're the best. Well, speaking of being appreciated, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, coming today by Jalen Dub, Justin Richardson, the sweetheart Sam Baughman, and our guest today was the one and only Alexis Fawx.
Woo.
In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content and all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram, Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok. The Working Beat Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspective@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we can keep this party going. Thanks for listening. Stick around for the ad read. Thanks. See ya.
Bye, Tom.
Do you have a message or a story inside of you that you've been waiting to tell? Have you always dreamed of writing a book but are intimidated by the complexities of the book publishing world? Perhaps you want to use a book to launch your public speaking or consulting career. If so, please reach out to Scott and Bell Publishing, located right here in beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Scott and Bell Publishing handle all genres and authors with all experience levels. Scott and Bell Publishing gives authors 100% creative freedom and a higher royalty split. They can be found at www.skotbell.com. That's www.s as in Sam, K as in kite, O as in October, T as in Tom, B as in boy, E as in Edward, L as in Larry, L as in Larry.com. That's Scott and Bell Publishing, where the authors go.